All right, so we give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamaim. In the name of Yahweh HaMashiach this day. Pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you won't come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in Abba's name, and you receive me not. And if another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that come from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me before he wrote it. Would you believe not his writings? How should you believe my words? All esteem, praise, honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahweh HaMashiach. Come on, there's Leviticus 4:13. See if he got the AC.
And if the whole congregation of Israel seen through ignorance,
Slow down.
and the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, they have done somewhat against any of the commandments of Yahuwah concerning the things which should not be done, and are guilty. When the sin which they have sinned against is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before Yahuwah, and the bullock shall be killed before Yahuwah. And the priest that is anointed shall bring the bullock's blood to the tabernacle of the congregation,
Right.
and the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle it 7 times before Yahuwah, before the veil, and he shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar which is before Yahuwah,
Right.
that is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. He shall take all his fat from him and burn it upon the altar, and he shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for a sin offering, so shall he do with this. And the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be given them, and he shall carry forth the bullock without the camp and burn him as he has burned the first bullock.
Right.
It is a sin offering for the congregation.
Right.
When a ruler have sinned and done somewhat.
Now that's good. Then you know it's going to go into the ruler, common people. So what does this cover? Read me 1 Corinthians 2 and 5.
It says that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect,
Right.
yet not wisdom of this world,
Not wisdom of this world.
that come to naught. But we speak the wisdom of Elohim in the mystery,
And the mystery.
even the hidden wisdom which Elohim ordained before the world,
Right.
to our esteem, which none of the princes of this world knew.
Because if they would have known it,
They would have not crucified the master of esteem.
read me Acts 3 and 17.
It says, and now, brethren, I would through ignorance ye did it, and also your rulers.
Now I'm reading this here because what did we read in the law? The congregation of Israel, the rulers of Israel, common people, or the inhabitants of the land. Inhabitants of the land pertain to the Gentiles. See, this is what you're talking about when you go through the law and you see that everybody get delivered. Because they all did. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody exempt from slaying this man. Continue, good sir.
But those things which Elohim before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets that Christ should suffer, he hath so fulfilled. Repent ye therefore and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out when the time of confession shall come.
Shalom, Brother Robert, Sister Kelly, Omar.
And he shall send Yahweh Mashiach, which before was preached unto you.
That's good. Now, we ain't gonna hit the habits of the land. Go ahead and hit with 2 Corinthians 12:1.
It is not expedient for me, doubtless, to esteem. I will come to visions and revelations of the Lord. I knew a man in Christ above 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell. All
Right.
know, such is one called up to the third heaven.
Right.
And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell. All know how that he was called up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which is not lawful for a man to utter.
Right.
Of such as one I will esteem, yet of myself I will not esteem, but
Right.
in my infirmities.
Right.
For though I would desire to esteem, I should not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But I forbear lest any man should think of me above that which seeth me to be, or
Right.
that he hear of me.
Right.
And lest I should exalt above measure through the abundance of revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of
How's
Satan
the time to what?
to buffet me,
And what else?
lest I should be exalted above measure.
And how many times did he ask the Lord about it?
For this thing I bought the Lord thrice, that it may depart from me.
What the Lord told him.
And he said it to me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in
Now
weakness.
stop. Read the definition of grace in Greek. We know it's ratzon and chesed in Hebrew, which is acceptance and favor and charm. Ratzon, chesed, loving kindness, mercy.
You got chesed, grace, that which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, loveliness, grace of speech, goodwill, loving kindness, favor, of merciful kindness, by which Elohim exerts his holy influence upon souls. Turns
Oh, your mic went out. What's happening with your Azrael, man? Now the key thing of what we to go back to what we were discussing, because we need to touch the intercessor aspect of things, is that his love is enough. I think a lot of people don't understand that, and it affects them spiritually and mentally. That his love is enough. I told you this before. People be wanting gimmicks. Let's change your name. Let's put these outfits on. Let's get long fringes. Let's do this. Let's do that. But it never be the word though. You know what I'm saying? So when the word is not enough, you'll never become who he desired for you to be, because it's not enough. Now you got Paul here talking about that he's being buffeted. Let me tell y'all what buffeted is. Why he get that microphone sorted out. Y'all can go to John 3 and 13 while you're at it. Now, when you look at buffet, kolophizo, to strike with the fist, to give one a blow with the fist, to maltreat, to treat with violence, contumely. He's being struck violently, which means that he was being persecuted violently. And he asked for that persecution to assuage from him thrice, which obviously, is a repeat of what? Yahusha hadn't been struck with the fish yet, but yet violence was coming, and he was asking for that cup. Hold on. Read Isaiah 51 and 17.
It says, awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of Yahuwah the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup, trembling, and wrung them out.
He drank what with the cup?
It says, thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup.
Tell them what dregs is, man. Go give him one of that.
Kabutha,
Give him one of
a
that.
cup. It says, a goblet, a deep like a cover, dregs.
Go ahead.
Or it says, there is none to guide her among all the sons whom she had brought forth, neither is there any take of her by the hand of all the sons that she had brought up.
What up?
These two things are coming to thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction and famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of fury of Yahuwah, the rebuke of thy Elohim. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, be not with wine.
Not with wine.
Thus said Yahuwah, the master, and the Elohim, and he pleaded the cause of the people. Behold, I have taken out thy hand the cup trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put into thy hand of them that afflict thee.
Stop. Now, I obviously say this is the cup of his fury, and this would tie into what I was telling you about what was in Isaiah 60. He said the cup that you drank, they drink it. Well, it's the same thing as testimony. The cup that Yahusha drunk, the nation's gonna drink it. His enemies gonna drink it. But nevertheless, I'll tie that back in a moment. Go to John 3 and 13.
It says, and no man had ascended up to heaven, but he that come down from heaven, even the Son of Man which is in heaven. And Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness.
He did what?
He lifted up the serpent in the wilderness.
What happened?
Even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believe in him should not perish, but have eternal life. For Elohim so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son.
Now see, he's referencing what happened in Numbers 21 to be exact. When the people were getting bit by fiery serpents, and he put a brazen serpent on the pole. Everybody who looked on that serpent was healed. And again, this is an instance of not you loving Elohim, but Elohim loving you. And that his love was enough, because all they had to do was look on it. Because all they had to do was look on it and they'd be healed. All you have to do is look upon the Son, as the scripture has said, and you'll be healed. Because his love is enough. So I told you last night, and I mean that I really had to lay that flat just on the basis of what we talking about. For a lot of people, love ain't enough. You need something extra. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm talking about love, again, I'm not talking about emotionality. Because emotionality in and of itself is not love. You can feel all the love in the world. That don't mean that the individual actually loves you. That's just what you feel. But your emotions will lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Read that for him, there. Jeremiah 17, man, and 9.
It says, the heart deceitful above all and desperately wicked, who can know it? I, Yahuwah, search the heart, I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit.
Now you know your lab is the seat of your emotions. So the seat of your emotions will deceive you. See, it's not just with sin. We were talking about the other day, people say they love somebody and they be lying to themselves. You want to love this individual, this nigga don't care about you. Hell, you don't care about them. You know what I'm saying? But because of the aspect that, you know, in this society, you taught that love is an emotion, which is literally in the Webster's Dictionary. And that's what it is, which is in direct contrast to what God says it is. Because what God says it is in his paradigm, from his point of view, from his standard, is something tangible. It's a verb. It's something that you do. See, because we live in America, everybody want to feel something. Hey, freak. Everybody want to feel something. So because you want to feel something, that's why love is not enough. He telling this man, while you being violently struck, my love is enough for you. Now, what does that mean when you look at it in its totality? That no matter what manner of adversity, situations, and circumstances that you are encountering, his love is enough. And in that state of weakness, his strength is made complete. Read Isaiah 26:3 on general principle.
It says, thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusts in thee. Trust in Yahuwah forever. The trust in Yahuwah is everlasting strength.
Listen, now tell them what strength is again, because it's not the regular word for strength you're gonna see.
Tasar, rock, cliff, rocky wall, block, stone, boulder, rock. You got rock of Elohim.
So it's a rock, a refuge. Psalms 91:1.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say unto Yahuwah, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Elohim, in him will I trust.
Stop. Give him refuge right there by definition.
You got Masah, refuge, shelter from rain or storm, from danger. Hope, trust, shelter.
Now, if he say trust in Yahuwah is everlasting strength, trust in Yahuwah is an everlasting shelter. He say shelter from the what? From the rain. Since he said that, Matthew 7:21. Again, this is all the aspect before we even get into individuals, before we even get into the intercession of why his love is enough. See, a lot of the people who you hear having disparaging comments about the word, about Yahuwah, is because his love is not enough for them. They want more. And you have to understand, you can't do nothing for somebody who want more than what you offer. If what you offering isn't sufficient for them, then that means they're not worthy of what you offer. And why are you stressed out about something about that? That's something like I just tell you, that's something I ain't never understood. I do understand it. When you don't understand the value of what you're offering, and I'm not talking about your presence. See, they made you believe that your value is simply because you exist. You're valuable to God because you exist, but you're not valuable to other people simply because you exist. See, that is a form of narcissism. You know what I'm talking about? Over inflation of your importance in other people's lives simply because you exist. Value is adding something to other people. So if you have something substantive that you can give to other people and you know that it is valuable and they turn it down because that's not enough, that's their loss. That's not your loss. It's only your loss when you don't have anything substantive to give. I'm not talking about monetarily nor your body. I'm talking about actual value of service, value of information, value of whatever that might be. You could be full of wisdom. You could have a multitude of understanding. Whatever that value may be, it's different from person to person. The reality is there's some people who have no value outside of their physical existence. That means that's an individual who hasn't cultivated themselves in any shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? That's unfortunate for them. See, but when you get all up in arms because somebody can't see your value, that means you want to be validated from outside of yourself. That means you don't believe you have value. If this person says you do, that means you have to. That means you have to look down in the mirror and ask yourself why you don't love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, then God's love ain't never going to be enough, and you're going to overextend yourself trying to convince people to love you. And that's a harsh reality, but see, we have to sit with that. See, if nobody don't tell you that, you know what you'll spend the rest of your life doing? Seeking to be validated by man and not by God. See, when you're validated by God and you cultivate who you are in Yahuwah, then you don't need outside validation from man. His validation is enough. Well, you want to be accepted by flesh, or you want to be accepted by the eternal? That's what you got to ask yourself, because you can get accepted by man. He say, hey, if everybody loved you, he said they loved all the false prophets too. Go ahead with it, man.
Matthew 7:21.
Listen.
Not everyone that say unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Abba which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name has cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works?
What he said.
And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity.
Go ahead.
Therefore, whosoever hear these sayings of mine and do them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his
Peace,
house
East,
upon
man.
a
Peace,
rock.
Sister Virginia. Peace,
And
Brother
the
Earth.
rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house,
What
and it
happened?
fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
Founded on what?
A rock.
What else?
And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and do them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And it came to pass when Yahushua.
Now go to Psalms 46. Now, taken at that house, and I think I read it last night in Proverbs 24, and I'll go back and read it. Any house that's not built upon the foundation of Elohim is set to fall. I think we read last night that by wisdom and understanding there's a house built, and you fill the chambers of it with knowledge. You build the house through the word, and you set the foundation of the house on that rock. That foundation is set through the fact that in that weakness, which we're going to get to that weakness, because while we were yet without strength, for Mashiach died for the ungodly, you're able to build yourself on that rock, and that's how your house is made complete, through his love. You know what I'm saying? That's how his strength is made perfect in weakness. But we don't ever pay attention to that because don't nobody. Listen, I just tell them brothers here, right? I done told y'all this plenty of times. I'm going to tell you this because it's on my mind because I just mentioned it out loud. I done told you plenty of times, if you going through something, don't never call and text my phone and ask me to send you no Bible verse because I ain't sending you nothing. If you got something going on, you got one or two options. You can call my phone and talk, or you can tell me to pull up on you. Because that's what people's problem is, or where you don't really get past. If you're going to carry your burden of your brother, you don't carry the burden of your brother by sending him 10 verses and you think you did something. Now, this person just read them 10 verses. Did that really give them the strength and the care and the concern that they needed to get through whatever they were going through? Absolutely not. Because truth be told, if the word is in you and you in the word, it should flow out of your conversation when you're talking to them. I ain't got to send you no 10, 15 verses. The 10 to 15 verses will come out in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? As it says in Isaiah 50, he's given me the tongue of the learned that I might speak a word in due season to him that is weary. I'm only mentioning that because that comes with the disconnect where you don't have interpersonal interactions with people according to the word. You're taking the lazy, uncaring, unloving way out and throwing a Bible verse at somebody through a text message and you thought you did something. When the people had something going on, they went and hollered at that man. You know what I'm saying? When he had something going on, he took his three best men with him and prayed to his father. And he didn't look at nobody and say, hold on, brother, let me give you one of these verses out of the scroll. See, that's a lack of personal attention, because really you really detach from this individual because you really don't care. Now you don't know that you don't care because you've been socialized to believe that that is actually caring for them, but in reality you don't care because you had no desire to give a personal touch to it whatsoever. Now I'm not saying this that means that people are inherently uncaring. I'm talking about a socialization. You get socialized that that's what you do. You're not realizing that you're being socialized to really be unloving, uncaring, and unmerciful. And then when people encounter that in congregational settings, regardless of what, quote unquote, denomination or religious affiliation they have, that's why people say, I don't want to be fooled with it because then people don't love you. Because you think the Lord just going to send you some verses. Guess what he going to do? He going to minister them verses in your heart, and then he going to pull up on you through his ruach or through another individual. He going to pull up on you. He going to come holler at you. He going to come see about you. So we have to learn to take that same mind that he got. You got to come see about that individual. Now, it's granted. Now, I told y'all this before. Niggas not God. So they can't search your heart to know there's something wrong with you. I told you, a lot of people don't really understand that people are not trained mental health professionals. So if you depressed, the average person is not going to pick up on that if they don't know the signs to look for to recognize that. And you shouldn't have that level of expectation from somebody because you thinking somebody should notice you ain't been acting different. Nigga might think you moving. They might think you having a day. You have to express that. People can't pick up on that. Like I told you, my nephew committed suicide. Until you learned what the signs of suicide was, you wasn't going to pick that up. In retrospect, when we learn what they were, it's like, yep, I seen that, I seen that, I seen that, I seen that. But when you don't know, you're not going to pick up on that. And we have to really be cognizant of that as individuals because you're crying out for help instead of just asking for it because you're crying out for it subliminally, hoping that people going to read in between the lines. They're not trained professionals. They don't know what to look for. Nigga might be sleeping all day. Nigga might be feeling like you've been sitting up all night. Whole time you sleeping all day because you're depressed. But they don't know that. You know why they don't know that? Because they don't know that's a sign of depression. They don't know that's a sign of depression. You might not eat for 4 or 5 days. They might think you smoke right. They might feel like you just ain't hungry. But you thinking people supposed to know. You know what I'm saying? No, people don't know. So you have to say something. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody feel like, well, if you love me, I shouldn't have to say something. Unrealistic expectation. It's an unrealistic expectation. Why are you having the expectation that people going to read nonverbal cues? Everybody not going to pick up on that. Some people will, some people won't. Then you walk around doubly upset and mad because you mad because this person didn't recognize it. Well, I told him, well, how did you tell him? I sat there pouting. No, that's not how that works. You can read cues in a toddler. You're not going to read cues in a 30-year-old man, in a 30-year-old woman. You're not going to pick up on that unless you train for it. How many of y'all have been trained for it? Exactly. You've been trained for it? And children, not adults. You wasn't no psycho. Where your degree at? Where is it? You niggas got a degree on the west. You ain't got no degree. You done lost it. I just asked Dita. I told her to show Joanne her degree. She told me it's at my parents' house. What the hell you got it over there for? Talking about if I had some, you don't need no decor to hang your degree on the wall. I say that because your children need to see it. The reason why I say your children need to see it is not necessarily the aspect of promoting higher education, is to be able to show that Your mama or your daddy set their mind to a particular task and accomplish it. You know what I'm saying? So they need to see what that look like. That I started something and I saw it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? That's just my point of view. But that's why I forgot what I was talking to Joanne about. I was like, your mama got a degree, go ask for the short tape. So you can see it. Yeah, mama did something. And I finished it. So that when they put their hand to something, they can finish it. Because they know that there's a pattern of that. It ain't got to be a degree, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, it could have been a certification, it could have been a trade school, hell, it could have been a CPR class. I wouldn't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? It's just to show the aspect of I started something and I finished it. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a mental cue. Like they ain't got to be up there forever, but it's just the aspect of you start something, you finish it. Even if you don't keep doing it afterwards. Now, of course, sometimes you got to stop stuff and you realize, hey, it's not going to work. I got to pivot to something else. But that's when you get old and start figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? But never mind. Where we at?
Psalms 56.
In one.
It says, Elohim is our refuge and strength, and a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, through the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried in the midst of the sea, the waters thereof roar and be troubled. The mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Salam.
Mm-hmm.
There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of Elohim, and the Kodash place of the tabernacle of the Most High. Elohim is in the midst of her; she will not be moved. Elohim shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged, and the kingdoms were moved, and he uttered his voice, and the earth melted. Yahuwah of hosts is with us. Elohim of Jacob is our refuge.
He's our what?
He's our refuge.
What else?
Come and behold the works of Yahuwah, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh the wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in fire. Be still and know that I am the Elohim. I will be exalted among the heathen.
That's good, because now he's talking about killing all the people at the end. But nevertheless, I want you to go to Psalm 62. I just want to set the stage for the refuge. And that's how you see how the intercessor sets the stage for God being your refuge and how his love is enough. Yeah, because a lot of times when you're in a weak position, you don't really be thinking that love is enough. You be wanting everything other than that. And again, that's I always mention socialization because I don't want to underscore the significance and the magnitude that social engineering has on the mind frame of people in the United States of America. Because you've been social engineered from the day that you were in your mother's womb. Because you were socially engineered based off the content that she consumed while you were in utero. Like straight up down, just like they tell you that a child can recognize the voice of their parents while they're in the womb, when they come out the womb, the type of things that she's consuming or your father's consuming or they're consuming together has an impact on how you will be socially engineered before you even exit the womb. Much less when you exit it and then you begin to consume content on your own. When I say content, I'm talking about movies, television, social interactions, books, music, anything you can think of that'll shape your particular worldview. Politics, the news, all of these things are a part of social engineering and propaganda spread. Because whether you know it or not, that's what Hollywood is. It's just an arm of the CIA. It's a propaganda arm. Don't believe me? Research World War II and how Hollywood was infiltrated by the U.S. government to make films participated to propaganda about that particular war, and it never stopped. Never stopped. They run that, they control that, they aim that, they make films for the purposes of hypnotizing the populace to think the way that they want you to think. I told you think all these young girls hate men because they hate men? Nah, somebody told you to hate men. You think all these niggas suckers and simps and crying about women because they really hate women like that? No, you've been programmed to think like that. Stuff like that just pop up on your algorithm. You got a whole bunch of grown people arguing about should women kick on the bills. Women been kicking on the bills since before time immemorial. They got you believing it's a whole bunch of women laid up in the house doing nothing when white women, Arab women, Asian women, black women, especially black women, you always help pay bills. That's not that ain't no abnormal thing. They'll lead you to believe that white women ain't never did nothing. Them white hoes been working. The whole time. I keep telling y'all take on white people stuff. White women hate men. And white men hate women. And you taking that on. Them people ain't got no love in them like that. Do you know how, and when I say that meaning no love, I'm talking about from a godly perspective. Do you know how devoid of love you got to be to hate your counterpart? That's your counterpart. Them men say them women ain't worth for nothing but producing babies. I'd rather have a man's butt. See, the way that the booty warrior talk, that's how they feel. The booty warrior was talking like that because he been in prison all his life. He never had an opportunity for no woman, so he convinced himself that a man's butt was a woman. So you just gay, and you were gay when you got here. Somebody touched you. See, I don't want to hear that. Oh, I was 16, I ain't never had no woman. Man, ain't nowhere in the world you start dreaming about anal, boy. You gay, and you been gay. But I'm speaking from a historical standpoint. If you read Greek literature, if you read Roman literature, if you read the stuff that they wrote down and the stuff that they was on, they felt like a man's butt was more important than water, than breathing. I'm not making this up. Have any of y'all ever studied Greek and Roman culture? And you know where they got a love for man's butt from? The Egyptians. They gods wanted butt. Hoping that I could have a man's butt. This is what they own now. You see all that junk with 300, bunch of muscular, half-naked, oiled up men. Going everywhere together. Ain't a woman in sight. And they wait till them boys get about 12, 13 years old and separated from everybody to be out there with dudes. Now, I told y'all before, you can look it up. The gymnasium is not what we call what we know it is now. Butt naked men in there with little boys. Yeah, now I'm not being funny with little boys. Because the men was in the pederasty. That's what they were doing in there. They would get a young man and train him up and molest him. The first Olympics, the men performed all them games naked. What type of man want to perform an athletic event with another man naked? Not a woman in sight. You would think that they would have women out there naked, but no. Dudes. And they want you to believe that you hate women. Yeah, keep listening to the people. Keep buying that propaganda if you want to. I've been paying attention to this stuff since I was a kid. Whether watching Night Court, all them sitcoms, they would slide that women hating men into it. Like I told you before, show the husband as a buffoon. You know what I'm saying? Show the woman looking down on his intellect, that men are stupid and lazy, and that, you know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff, man, that's white people propaganda. Yeah, that's white people propaganda, man, and we done bought into it. You gotta leave that stuff where it's at. That don't belong to you. Come on. There.
Psalm 62:1. Truly my soul wait upon Elohim. From him cometh my salvation. He is only my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. How long will ye imagine mischief against a man? Ye shall be slain, all of you. As a bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fence. They only consult to cast down his excellence. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly.
See, stop. Now that's we won't get to that in detail right now, that you have to learn to understand. Some people bless with their mouth, but they don't fool with you. So how you going to be able to determine if they don't fool with you? Well, he told you by what? By their fruits, you're going to know them. You have to separate personal feelings, thoughts, concerns, and look at the proof and their behavior if the love of God is. It's not the, see, people get caught up in, some of y'all don't remember. You remember when that nigga said we should have a welcoming committee and niggas at the door? You remember that shit? You remember that nigga? See, that phony as hell. No, that junk is phony as hell. Because that's that church stuff and that's fake. Because you want somebody to be at the door, hey, brother, woo, woo, woo. Come on with all that, man. You ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do all that. You thinking during that time period they had somebody posted up at the door being a greeter, but you know why you've been socialized and believe that way? Because that shows the people in the church care about you. Whole time the people talking about you. Whole time they really asking you all these questions to know all your business so they can be able to use that against you at a later time. Instead of people organically interacting with one another and forming a bond for real. You think that's real because the nigga at the door hugging you. Hey, sister. I ain't doing all that junk, nigga. You take that junk, you take that somewhere else. Listen, man, you should make people talk to people. I ain't got to make people do a goddamn thing. If that person don't want to talk, it's not because they don't like you. That's clearly because that's their personality, which means you would need to actually start interacting. They'll talk to you after a while. You want a nigga to have a lifelong conversation with you. They just met you 5 minutes ago. Now, granted, do some people meet some people and is this if they've known them their entire life and they rock out like that? Sure. Does that happen all the time? Absolutely not. You think because you showed up to a service one time that people supposed to act like they known you for 15 years. Now, where's the reality in that? Now, I know me personally, they go acting like me. What this nigga got going? You coming with all that flattery, all that stuff. Now, I ain't going, that don't mean you love me, man. That don't mean that's for real, man. You putting on the show. And you know how most of y'all know that? Because most of y'all have been in churches and y'all know the people in there putting in the show. Now, after you sit around there for a while, they always talking about Brother Johnson, but they act like they love him when they see him. You don't do all none of that there, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. They can introduce you like, this nigga ain't never said nothing to me because they don't talk. See, at least she don't talk. But when she start talking, she make a case. That's when you know you her friend. She ain't gonna tell you you her friend. Huh? You see that? Now you're off the list. Nah, when you get to know you already know what they like, get her a plant. She'll talk to you. Nice plant, she'll give you a nice conversation. You know how long it'll be? Thank you. That's all you. That's when you got somebody. Okay, you get a good day. You gotta acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? People be upset about that. You know how people don't cry about that? She being mean to me, man. That's Lee, nigga. What you talking about? You want me to make her talk to you? Well, guess what? I can't. Ain't finna try. Have you talked to her before? You ain't gonna die. That one thing you ain't gonna make me talk to nobody because she ain't gonna do it. But if she do like it, you can't stop her from talking. See, Shayla though. The people who she talked to, they know. Once she get to talking, you can't stop her, but you gotta know her first. That might take you 8 years, but eventually you'll get there. You gotta have some patience. You know what I'm saying? They gotta show themselves approved, huh? Come on, dude.
You going to Psalms? Yeah. Psalm 62:5. My soul wait thou only upon Elohim, for my expectation is from him.
Your expectation is from what?
From him.
What else?
He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved.
Shalom, brother.
Elohim is my salvation and my esteem and the rock of my strength.
That's a fact, Omar. He's the rock of my what?
He's my rock. He's the rock of my strength and my refuge.
Hold on. So your mama said, get your behind up. What? That's what she told me to do to you. I mean, I'm on your grass, boy. That's what your mama said to do. She said, if you want to sleep, you should stay behind the bed. I'm not being funny. That's what she said. You would sleep over there. When you told me, I wasn't asleep. I don't know why you told her mama that. She burst it. She knows you sleep. Read that again, verse 5.
My soul wait only upon Elohim, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved.
That's right.
And my Elohim is my salvation and my esteem. The rock of my strength and my refuge is in Elohim.
What else?
Trust in him at all times.
All times.
Pour out your heart before him.
He is a what?
Elohim is my refuge for us.
Give him refuge, but then he said, pour your heart out to him, for he's a refuge for us. Now that goes back to what we were reading in, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Paul said he had been violently buffeted And he asked 3 times for the Lord for that to depart. And he said, my love is enough for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. He told him, he pouring his heart out to him. He letting you know, I'm a place of shelter for you. My love is a place where you can hide yourself. And we don't look at it, honestly, you look at it like that, but you may not remember it. You look at it like that when you're a small child, because your mother is usually the refuge for you, because that's who you're around the most. So when there's any distress, any pain, that's why some of y'all be like, but your daddy right there. Well, they didn't live in their daddy for 9 months. And they didn't nurse on their daddy's chest for a year or 2. And they wasn't around their daddy like they around you. You know why? Because daddy had to go to work. So they come looking for you as a place of refuge or for safety or for shelter for any manner of distress that they may encounter at any given time. See, in the moment you look at it because you're frustrated, you like to say, why you always coming over there to me? And you're not understanding for this moment in time in their life, you a safe place for them. That's why they're coming over there. Now, eventually, as they get older, you know, their daddy might become their safe place. But I'm telling you, from 0 to 4, maybe even 5, oh, that's going to be Mom Deuce for the most part. So I'm mentioning that, so when you look at it from the standpoint of being in the Word and you the sons and daughters of Elohim, you know what I'm saying? You would need to sit back and look at the way these children run to me is how I would run to God as a safe place, because they're looking for your love, care, compassion, and concern as a refuge. A place where they can hide themselves from whatever distress it is that they may be protected. That's what he's telling you when my love is enough for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. I mean, whatever strength you got to give that baby, whatever weakness that baby is going through, it can make them complete to whether they can be at ease. Same way when that baby crying, they pouring out their heart to you, and you need to learn how to be a refuge for them instead of being aggravated at the fact that they might be interrupting whatever you got going on. Because they don't know how to regulate themselves. Now imagine you don't know how to spiritually regulate yourself. The same thing that toddler doing to you is what you doing to God. Now imagine if you like, you irritate me, leave me alone. Go find your dad. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Same word again. Shelter from the rain, from the storm. That's what you have to understand, why his love is enough for you, because his love is a protection. Go ahead to Romans 5:1. Now, don't get me wrong. I know when I'm cheering me going wild, you don't consider that at the time. I'm just mentioning that as a juxtaposition, that the same way they coming to you is how we come to God. So you can consider that child just coming to you because you a safe place. You would want to be concerned if your child don't come to you, because that means they don't feel safety in your presence. That's why a lot of people don't come to God, because they don't feel safety in his presence. But that's because the things that pertain to his safety, they don't value. See, children don't have that level of, I don't value what my mama or daddy can give me. They just may not feel comfortable with you. People don't come to God because they don't value long suffering. They don't value peace. They don't value goodness and meekness. They don't value forgiveness. They don't value unselfishness. They don't value sacrifice. They don't value humility. These are things that I can value because I can't take them to inflate my low sense of self-worth. Continue. Romans 5:1.
Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with Elohim through our Master, Yahushua Mashiach, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in the hope, the esteem of Elohim. And not only so, but we esteem in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of Elohim is shed abroad in our hearts by the Ruach HaKodesh, which is given unto us.
Yeah.
For when we were yet without strength, in due time,
We were yet without what?
For when we were yet without strength, in due time, Mashiach died for the ungodly. For scarcely a righteous man would one die, yet peradventure for a good man, some would even dare to die.
He said, well, we were yet without strength. Now, he just told you his strength was sufficient for you because it's made perfect in weakness. Now, go back to 2 Corinthians 12 and 7, or whatever verse it is, and give him the Greek definition of weakness. Verse 9. You can read it from the top and give him the word. They ain't verse 11.
It said, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I esteem in my infirmities that the power of Mashiach may rest upon me.
That's good. Now give him weakness. Now it says, well, we were yet without strength. He died for the ungodly.
All right. Weakness. It says, want of strength, weakness, infirmity of the body, weakness and feebleness of health, sickness of the soul, want of strength and capacity.
And that's good. Now go back to Romans 5 and 6 and tell them what strength means there. Without, well, it's going to say without strength. So we know what without going to be. But let's just see what strength is there to what we're going to be without.
It says weak, infirm, feeble, weakness, weaker, weak things, impotent, more feeble. You
know what it means to be impotent? I think some of y'all know that word. Y'all be messing with people about it. That's why the boy be on the pills. You know what it means to be impotent? You don't know what that means? You know what that means? To what? To be impotent.
Impotent?
Yeah.
It's not like
It's a week.
Right? Yeah, it is, but I'm talking about in the context where it's used in this society. It's generally used in a particular context that most men would find.
They be using that job for ED.
For erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
They say you're impotent.
Yeah. Can't get right.
Can't get right. Ain't enough blood working for you. I mean, that's all erectile dysfunction is. The cardiovascular system that's jacked up. The blood ain't flowing. Let's see, listen, right? People laugh about that junk, but that junk is a sign of bigger ailments. I'm talking about with your heart. You know what I'm saying? It's two things in a man's life that can signal that his cardiovascular system is not working properly. One, if you don't have an erection on a consistent basis when you wake up in the morning. It also means your testosterone possibly is low. And the other one is if your calves cramp up a lot, especially when you wake up in the morning. Because they call your calves your second heart. Those could be signs that, and if your gums bleed a lot. Because it might not be gingivitis. You know what I'm saying? If you got a lot of your gums bleed, those three things are signs that your cardiovascular system could be off. See, if you don't be paying attention to that, you been around here thinking your gums bleed because you overfloss. Whole time, nigga, you finna have a heart attack. I just talked to somebody, they said they watched somebody go into cardiac arrest because he used to dry scoop pre-workout. The nigga heart stopped working. Say watching people do CPR on for 45 minutes. Dry scooping 400 to 500 milligrams of caffeine is wild.
On the daily, for sure.
Yeah, shoot, I'm dry scooping. I'm not taking 400-500 milligrams of caffeine, period. But you might well sniff you some cocaine. You know how much caffeine that is, man?
That ain't a lot throughout the whole day. That ain't a lot throughout the whole day, though.
It's a lot at one time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you spread out throughout the day is not a lot, but at one time it is.
That's what I'm talking about. They even take that at one time. Even 400 milligrams of caffeine over time, that's a lot. Every day, but one time, nigga, you might as well go on the wind and got you a bump. No, but he ain't talking about the dry scooping. He was talking about this nigga was doing 400 to 500 milligrams of caffeine of what he was dry scooping.
I'll tell you, motherfucker, they got 400 milligrams.
Well, you wow. Wow. Only reason that's on my mind because Gabe had that out there. 400 milligrams?
I told you we were just talking about that.
That's too much, boy. I think he did. And see, he didn't have a heart attack. He went into cardiac arrest, which is different. See, a heart attack is there's blockages in your arteries. Cardiac arrest is your heart stop beating. You know what I'm saying? Which usually when niggas OD on cocaine, that's what happened. They heart just chop, I'm through. I can't take it no more. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of caffeine, man. We don't be realizing it like this here. Then you gotta ask yourself, did it really make you have a better workout? Because eventually your body gets immune to it.
I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
You gotta switch.
They were out.
No, I would ask because some stuff we were talking about. I ain't never really was on that pre-workout. But boy, I remember the first time I took C4, that junk got your body tick. You don't know it's the niacin though. But it's the niacin though. When you don't know that, then it's the niacin because we were talking about creatine. I was like, I don't really take none of that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When I first got in it, yeah, because they tell you need to buy all that stuff, but in reality, you just find out you just really need to eat. Just eat the right stuff. And if you want to have a pre-workout, just drink your black coffee. Call it a day. I don't drink coffee, so I don't need no pre-workout. You know what I'm saying? I just go in there. You know what I'm saying? Once you hear them weights clapping like, some cheeks on a hot summer day, you'll be motivated. Some of y'all boys ain't never got to done on a hot summer day with no AC on in the house. You were young, see. Y'all use the central AC. We ain't have no central AC in my time. Nigga had wall ACs, nigga.
That don't sound like a good time.
You lying to me. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds fake.
Yeah, it might have been. But who cares? You know what I'm saying? The wall ACs don't cool that whole house like that. It cool the room. It don't cool the house. See, a lot of y'all ain't living in no houses with just strictly wall ACs, man. And you know how hot it is in the goddamn house with a wall AC? Man, with central air, they like that's a blessing from God. What a wall AC is gonna do? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not for cooling no whole house. Whatever area that AC is at, it's gonna be cool. You step outside for where that AC is at, you trying to get back over there. Niggas fight and stand in front of it. Yeah, I forgot, man. Y'all wasn't born in the 80s. My apologies. Y'all didn't know. You need no struggle. Y'all ain't know nothing about no rotary phone. No damn internet dial up. You got to hear that damn noise. My tape put that joint on that just scared my baby. The song he had it on. He didn't know what that was. That took me back to 1995, man. AOL. You gotta wait 10 minutes for this nigga to call a nigga so you can web surf. You don't know, man. Go ahead. So listen. Now when you're looking at weakness, let's take a look at what that looked like. Genesis chapter 2, verse 5.
And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for Yahuwah Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground, but there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And Yahuwah Elohim formed man.
She only had one AC. What the hell she was saying? She said down here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see what they got central?
Nah.
Oh, on Fairfax. Oh, yeah, but he was running away. Oh, yeah, he had wall AC. Yeah, he was running away. Yeah, he definitely had that. Go ahead. I forgot he was running away.
Verse 7. It says, and Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground.
He formed him from what?
From the dust of the ground.
And he made him a what?
A living soul.
Now, let's go to 1 Corinthians 15, verse 37. Let's look at what it says.
It says, and that which thou sawest not the body that shall be, but bare grain, it made chance of wheat and some other grain. But Elohim give it a body as it has pleased him, and to every seed his own body. All flesh not the same, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another flesh of fishes, and another of birds. It says there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the esteem of the celestial is one, and the esteem of the terrestrial is another. There is one esteem of the sun, and another esteem of the moon, and another esteem of the stars, and one star different from another of stars in esteem. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption and raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in esteem. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power.
Stop. It is sown in what?
In weakness.
Now we just seen that in Genesis. Let's look at weakness again. In that particular passage, that's what it says.
It says in want of strength, weakness, infirmity is one of the same ones. Of the body, weakness, feebleness of health, of the
Now,
soul.
This is the question. How is he sown in weakness? What makes him being made of the dust of the ground? How does that make him weak? Indeed, fair. Now, continue in Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 15 and what?
We in 42.
Verse 42.
So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in esteem. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power.
Stop. Now, you see how it's raised in power and its strength is made perfect in weakness. Now, I want you to give me corruption and incorruption by definition in the Greek in this particular passage. Now, again, all these things point to, obviously, if he's talking about the resurrection of the dead and being raised and sown in incorruption and raised, sown in corruption and raised in incorruption, he's talking about how do you even get sown? How do you even get raised in incorruption in the first place? Because greater love have no man than this, that a man lay his life down for his friends. So again, it's getting back to reiterate the point of what he said to him. My love is enough for you. How is his love enough for you? I will ransom you from the power of the grave. I will redeem you from death. His love is enough. But you have to know what that love looks like. See, if you know what it looks like, then you'll value it and it'll be enough. If you don't know what it looks like, then it won't be valuable to you. See, there's a lot of things you come up in life. See, there's things that when you were young that were not valuable to you, that became valuable to you as you gained life experience and maturity, that you've seen how you overlooked something very precious. Like what it tell you in Matthew, he say when the woman find a very expensive pearl and sell everything she got so that she could have it because she seen something that was valuable. See, it's quite natural in your youth, especially if you're not trained to see things that are valuable as valuable, you won't appreciate them. Now, sometimes you might get a second go round to have access to them things. Sometimes some people don't never get access to them. That was their one and only chance. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, like, man, listen, you say you want a godly man and you get one and you toss him away, you think God gonna send you another one? You want a godly woman and you do her dirty, you think God gonna give you another one? Oh no, you already had that chance because you do be staying on that. You messed that up. Because what most people think is, okay, this person might be godly, but they're not the physical aesthetic that I like. When he looking at, if you didn't value the intrinsic qualities of me in this physical vessel, it don't matter what physical vessel it's going to be in, you still not going to value it. Because what did he tell you? Man look on the outward appearance, he look upon the heart. Most people don't look upon the heart. Because what do people tell you? You can't know nobody's heart, but that's not what God told you. How do we know their heart, Darius? How do you know a man's heart?
By the actions.
By their actions. He didn't tell you about their fruit, because what's in a man's heart is what come out. What he said is not what goes into a man that defile him, but what come out. So the fruit that he bears shows you what manner of man that he is. You know what I'm saying? But you know what most people don't never have the patience to do? To see what type of fruit an individual is going to bear. So by the time you see that they bearing rotten fruit, you was caught up in the lust of desire and ignored intrinsically that this nigga's a devil. So then when you actually seen the individual that possessed the characteristics that everybody claims that they desire, you rejected him. Remember what we could read in Isaiah 53, said it wasn't no beauty that we would desire him. Who he was and the honor that he represented, they didn't desire that. You know what they desired? A murderer. So you desired an individual who had no care for life, a rebel, a miscreant, a degenerate. This ain't nothing new under the sun. People always been like this. You know what I'm saying? They've always seen the character and attributes of God and said, nah, I want that. Let me get that. Because it's pleasurable for the moment. But anything for the moment, read them Genesis 4 and 7 on the high. See, most people look at that and, in this day and time, they try to frame it, that's what women be on, but that's a human thing. That's what men and women do. It doesn't even have to be in interpersonal relationships. It can be with businesses. It can be with politicians. It can be with anything. People will overlook the negative attributes for that which is aesthetically pleasing. That's why niggas eat food that kill them. Because the food that's good for you don't look aesthetically pleasing. I don't want that. You get that sloppy Joe. I know ain't nobody eat no sloppy Joe. They still make that. Y'all still make it? Y'all don't make that junk. Because boy, we had enough sloppy Joe in my childhood the last 10 lifetimes. That seems like that's what they always want to make. You know what I'm saying? Don't get them niggas a sloppy Joe. And they gave it to us in school. They give that in school too? Yeah, they love y'all. Yeah, they take that ground beef and throw it in that damn barbecue sauce and throw it on the bun and you be excited for it. This meal ain't take no care or concern. I'm talking about, it used to come in manwich. Manwich. They still sell Chef Boyardee? Because I know that's killing niggas. That's been killing niggas since 1965. You is not going to convince me that's a real meatball, ravioli, and nothing in them. It might have been back then, it ain't now, I'll tell you that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I heard you say. You buy organic food, you ain't got to worry. See, I be telling y'all, you ain't got to worry about that. If you stop eating processed food, you won't have to worry about that. You know, stop buying food with ingredients in it you can't pronounce. And not because you can't read. I mean, literally because you can't pronounce them. Because, you know, some people can't read. They can struggle. You know I ain't lying. Well, they say, boy, black boys reading at a 6th grade level. That means most of you niggas can't read. That's a sad reality. Y'all don't realize y'all work with a lot of niggas who are functionally illiterate. Ask them to read out loud. We'll see what happens. That's what you need to do when you go to work. Well, man, read this out loud for me real fast. I'm busy, man. Read this email for me. I'm trying to get this food fixed real fast, man. I need to know what's in that before I get out of here, man. Read that for me. Yeah. Nah, read a sentence, nigga. You can tell niggas on the internet can't read because they can't type out a sentence. Got run-on sentences. Ain't no commas, no punctuation, no nothing. Just a continual thought. This nigga can't read. I blame you. You the literature, you the reading teacher. Yeah, man, that's what you need to do next time y'all go to work. Next time you go to Amazon, you should ask some niggas, hey man, read that box for me. Read that for me. Why you can't read it? I'm trying to load this, this conveyor belt up. Just read that out loud to me. I meant to read it before I came in here, I forgot. You hear a nigga struggling for his life, man. See, that's what you ladies need to do. You like a nigga, you need to stop worrying about where he can take you to find out if he can read. Y'all worried about if he can take you to a nice dinner. Now this nigga can't even read the menu. That nigga just like, yeah, let me get what she get. You thinking he just want to be cute? That nigga can't read. Yeah, there don't be people in the game. They think he being romantic. That nigga really can't read. He really want a menu with pictures on it. Let me get that straight. He can't read. That's why you always ask him, what y'all size is? It's on the menu. Asking you what drinks they serve. It's on the menu, nigga. He can't read. Same thing you need to ask that woman to read too. Well, I know y'all be seeing them reels of them people with them index cards. These niggas can't read. Say what? I don't care if you're good at math and you can't read. If you can't read, that means you can't think. I believe that wholeheartedly. If you can't read, you can't think. You can't read Cat in the Hat. You seen some of the things, them don't even be big words. Nigga be stumbling over. Nigga didn't know what conscientious was. Nigga, there was 10 people mispronounced Colonel. Colonel? I know you've been to KFC. Y'all just pushing them churn out. That's what I was gonna say. I know it ain't y'all fault. I'm trying to tell you passing. But Principal Johnson, he can't read passing. Just so they can get a good grade. This nigga can't read. They asking him to spell his name. He's like, huh? Just what I remember that skit, that nigga was like they talking to the kids, he just kept saying chicken nugget. This nigga can't read. Can't even write his own name. And I'm saying this because then niggas start teaching the word. This nigga can't read. You got to make sure he don't have, before you have a reader, you need to make sure that nigga can read. Because that book is on the 5th grade level. Because if he can't read that, that nigga can't read. I ain't talking about if they stumbling over their word because they got good public speakers. I'm talking about he can't read. Being on Clubhouse, I see this, a lot of niggas can't read. If you read that Bible, I can tell that nigga don't know the words.
You say the Bible 5th grade level?
Yeah, they said the Bible is written at a 5th grade level. Nah, it's fourth as the old English. See, most people stumble over because of old English because don't nobody talk like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a given. Nobody says, I'll say it. Nobody don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's fourth is like the word usage, you know what I'm saying? And how it's formulated is formulated for a 5th grade level. That's why you don't see, it's fourth is translations of certain Hebrew words. That's why you don't see certain, you know, for lack of a better term, bigger words or $5 words used in their place. It's supposed to be an easy read. So when I hear people talking about teaching the Bible and they can't read it, I know that nigga can't read it. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people can't read it. You ain't know it was written on the 5th grade level? Oh, for real? Let me double check. No, I recall reading that, so I'm being serious. I recall reading that before I got into that. That's different. The names get everybody. Yeah, it say the God's Word translation or the contemporary English version is written on the 5th grade level. Now I say the King James version or the English Standard version is written on the 10th to 12th grade level. But popular versions like the NIV and the Common English Bible is written on the 7th to 8th grade level. I ain't gonna lie. If the King James Version is written on the 12th grade level, that's got the 12th grade level of the United States of America got to be absolute trash. Because that's not senior level reading right now. Ain't no challenge into your vocabulary and nothing in that King James Version. I put the names to the side because that's a cultural thing. But that's a cultural thing. Because if I gave you a book full of Arabic names or Norse names or Celt names and you had to read that in their tongue, you'd stumble over their names also because you're not accustomed to pronouncing them. So I ain't tripping on them names. You know, you never walk around a nigga like, yeah, what's up, Abimelech? You know what I'm saying? I'm around here in Pataram. You used to go around there to Sweetwater. Durkee did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that ain't nothing. But 12th grade level is a stretch.
If you think about the books you read in high school lit, like the lit is like the lit classes, and it's kind of like Bible. I feel like it's high school.
I'll take your word for that because I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I've been out of high school longer than some of y'all been alive. And that's wild to say out loud. When you sit there and think about it, that's absolutely wild to say out loud. I've been out of high school for 28 years. But nigga, Leah's not 28. You know what I'm saying? You ain't 28, is it? So see, that's crazy. It wasn't even on the earth when I graduated high school. Swimming. Just waiting for the day. One day they was just here. When they got here, we were probably smoking weed and participating in illegal narcotics trades. Well, where we at, Derek?
Genesis 4:7.
Run
If thou doest well,
it. Indeed.
shalt not be accepted. If thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door,
Mm.
and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Listen, man, if you don't want to do well, that desire for sin is gonna rule over you. And that's where the weakness come in at. The weakness is the desire. And the flesh has a desire to do contrary to the will of God. Romans 8:1.
It says, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Mashiach, Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit.
Stop. What that line up with the law? I just had to make sure you remember. There's no condemnation to those in Yahushua HaMashiach. What does that line up with in the law? Maybe like 3-4 times. I remember some of those. I remember my homeboy hit my man David Sterling so hard, that boy said, "Who got hit?" They said, "Boy, you got hit." He punched him hard, boy. I was like, God. I forgot what he did for him to even stop that man. I do remember my homeboy Milan got caught messing with the white girl in the boiler room. The only reason why I remember is because he had on white shorts, and I guess you know what happened. Yeah, he got exposed. I said, what? I said, for your sake, I hope that came on in the midst, because if not, you was nasty then. Oh, no, you have to go to the law. Son in the law. No condemnation. Fix your clothes, more. More. Fix your clothes. Fix your skirt. Stand up and do it. There you go. Read them Genesis 3:22.
It says, and Yahuwah Elohim said, behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil, and not lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever.
Remember, if they would have ate from the tree of life or any other tree, there would have been no condemnation. See, if they would have ate from the tree of life, they would have lived forever. There is no condemnation. Why is there no condemnation? Because what did Jeremiah 17 tell you? That this tree never ceases from yielding fruit. What does Galatians tell you? What does that fruit is? Peace, joy, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, meekness, self-control. Against such there is no law. There is no condemnation. So when you dwell in Yahushua and Yahushua dwell in you, there is no condemnation because you wouldn't produce any fruit of which you would be condemned. That's why I tell you a spiritual man judge of all things, yet is judged by no man. That's why he said in John 8, he said, which one of you convinced me of a sin? And if not, why do you not believe me? See, people always hear that. You can't judge me, but there's supposed to be a point in time where nobody should be able to judge you. Judgment just means to determine right from wrong. If you're producing good fruit, what wrong would they say, would they be able to point at you? Read them John 8:44. Make it 40 and 40, what I'm referencing, what he said. See, some people don't tell you that, but I mention that because his love is enough for you. So even in that weakness, there would be no condemnation because you would dwell in him and he in you. And if you were in a weak state, because he told you, watch and pray, for the Ruach is willing, but the flesh is weak.
John 8:40.
Yeah. So if you watching and praying, which means that you on guard and you making supplication to God in the times of trial or test, you'll lean on God and his word and you won't falter. Because that flesh weak. But again, he said his strength is made perfect in weak. And where the word of the king is, there's power, which is the mastery, which if the word is in you and you in the word, you would have mastery, you'd have the power of God with you. So therefore, even in the midst of weakness, you would have strength. Now, of course, Paul was referencing weaknesses, form of infirmities, whether it was necessities, whether it was distresses, whether it was persecutions. Because if you in need of something, you in a weak state. If you in distress, you in a weak state. See, especially for men, you know, you really not told to make plain that you in a weak state, which is why people don't hesitate to do it. Which of course I always ask y'all that too, because women always be vulnerable with me. And you would have to ask yourself, why is it so important for a man to show weakness to you? You know what I'm saying? The only reason why you want somebody to be weak in front of you is to exploit them for it. See, it's different if somebody do it. I'm talking about the pressing forward. I just want you to be, you don't want it. That doesn't make you closer. Nobody gets closer through weakness. Because if you want me to show you weakness, then guess what that means you have the ability to do? My strength is made perfect in weakness. That means if I'm in a weakened state, you can strengthen me in it. If you don't have the ability to strengthen me in weakness, what is the purpose of me sharing it with you? There is no purpose. Now, that's a socialization tactic. That's not necessarily inherently like, oh, a woman gonna take that weakness and do it. It's because they socialize and share their weaknesses with each other. Not necessarily looking to strengthen one another because they're more social creatures. So they're more socialized to convey that type of information to each other. It's when they hang out with a lot of mean girls that they realize that you can't necessarily do that with everybody. Most men already know it can be dangerous for me to share weaknesses with anyone. You have to be careful who you share that with, because a nigga can use that and destroy you, overthrow your business, this, that, there, and the third. But the reality is, you're supposed to share weaknesses with those who can strengthen you, because that's the purpose. If I have a weakness, I would desire to be made strong. But we don't look at it that way because you think just share it. Now I know where your underbelly at. I didn't give you any armor to protect yourself. That's why most people, if you point out their weaknesses, they'll think that you're trying to manipulate them with their weaknesses, because most people don't point out, you're weak in that area, whoop, 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 so you're not weak there no more. Oh, you told me that so you could do something to me. If I was going to do something to you, I wouldn't have told you. I just would have exploited you. So there's a difference. Yahuwah telling you your weakness can be made complete in my strength. Which is why he say those that are strong ought to support the weak and not to please themselves. It's supposed to be a different dynamic from a godly perspective. If you identify your brother as weak, you take his weakness and make it a strength, so you're strong together. So that 3/4 cord can't be broken. As Solomon put it, not necessarily to ridicule people, because that's what people be concerned with, that somebody's going to mock me or laugh at me or tell my business or this, that, there, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And word-wise, it ain't supposed to be like that. I never understood the purpose of taking delight of the misery or sufferings or tribulations of other people in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But that's us. I done seen some things and been through some things. When you've been through some things in life, you don't sit back and looking at the sufferings of others as conversation pieces. Now, unless you're just outright stupid, I don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're just dealing with the same thing over and over again because you're stupid as hell, man, don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that. That's what they like. You know what I'm saying? You got two people like that, they be going through it, bro. They cuss each other out every week. I don't want to hear that. They like that junk. You know what I'm saying? Some people like the entertainment. Then you have to ask yourself, that's why y'all be watching Real Housewives. That's why you like that Nene lady. Because y'all like that chaos and confusion, toxicity, wickedness. Not even wickedness because it's against the word, just wicked people. Just a bunch of women, too much time on their hands, cussing each other out. Y'all rich. What y'all angry for? I never understood that in some of them clips. I said, all you ladies got money. What you upset about? What was they upset about? Was niggas rich than me? So that's the crazy part. You don't like each other. Why y'all hanging with each other? That's the part I never understood. All y'all rich. So that means y'all can go hang out. I don't care how you got your riches. It could be your husband, it don't matter. All y'all got some money. And you choose to hang out in a social group of 10 women you don't like. That means y'all do like each other. Y'all just like going through all this nonsense because your lives is miserable. That money ain't helping you be happy. You got money, you got cars, you can do all this stuff you say you want to do, and you want to fight a hoe in a restaurant. You're miserable, hoe. You need to go live in a tent. That just go to show you money, either you got a bad character or money ain't gonna get you. The money didn't give you what you thought it was gonna give you. Because I ain't understand. All the women don't like each other. Stop acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. You watch them shows, baby. You still be watching reruns. girl. I remember you saying yourself. She used to be amped up about it. Give you a whole dissertation. What you like about that lady? Did she? Did she tell about herself though?
She owned it.
Who is she?
She owned it.
Who is she?
She knew.
You with that nonsense. Man, so did she leave her husband when he was finna die?
No, she was married to that man when he died.
See, I just want to see how she was gonna take up for it.
She's still like
I just seeing how you were gonna take up for it. You got like you know that lady. You go to a book signing, but
no.
you ain't even got a book. Just sign the shit. You don't even know that lady. You would have wanted to be on the show like that.
No, I didn't.
I can see you on that show now, ready to box, right in a nice luxury establishment.
I don't think wrong.
I don't know that. Monte, you think she'd have been on the Real Housewives? She'd have been ready to bump in a nice luxury establishment?
Nah. That's
Nah, man. I'm so crazy, man. Fat Boy used to like, when I first came home, he used to watch Love and Hip Hop. I'm like, why is you watching this? That's what he said, too. Yeah, I couldn't get it. Seem too contrived. All you niggas want to do is fight. Once you see one fight, you seen them all.
That's what wrestling is about.
Wrestling is an athletic display. You can say the same thing for football. I mean, you can say the same thing for football. Once you see one football game, you seen them all. But that's kind of comparing apples to oranges because you know this ain't real. No, you know this ain't real. That's like watching a boxing match. I mean, I know it's scripted, but it's an aspect of it's supposed to be like stuff in their lives. We know this ain't nothing in their lives.
Wrestling, they have a whole script. It's not real.
But it's just a fight.
So it's
Nah, y'all be invested. Did you see what such and such did to such and such? No, I don't. I've never been emotionally invested in wrestling.
it's better.
Yeah, but I don't mean you don't hear me talking about the storylines in detail to give you context why these niggas in here. But like a boat, like when I was young, I was like, oh, Hulk Hogan, I hope he beats Ultimate Warrior. I don't care. Just like watching. No, there's a difference in people who are emotionally invested in it, like in the character, and you just watching the show. I wasn't emotionally invested in Sting. Like I didn't see Sting get beat up by the NWO and want to shed tears. They're like, damn, they beat that cracker up. Who gonna roll the blunt? Because that's us as children emulating what you see on television. We're not out there saying, I'm macho man, brother. I'm not doing that.
Chris, you got to be excited because you like wrestling. That's okay.
I watch wrestling. Does Christian want to be Cody Rhodes? I don't think so. See, I didn't want to be any of them. Like, I didn't want to be Hulk Hogan. And by the time The Rock came around, I was damn near wrong. You know what I'm saying? But like when I was young, it was Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, Steamboat, Flair, all of them. I didn't want to be Ric Flair. We had a wrestler, I'm a child. We had a wrestler, man, you want to emulate what you seeing on the TV show, but I don't want to be Ric Flair. I don't want to be Hulk. I don't want to, why we walking around here, what's going on, brother?
Were you excited at the show, y'all?
No.
He was there.
I was not sitting there excited. I took Buffin to that. That was AEW. I don't watch AEW. Then we went to the other show. No, we was there, but you talking about excited? No, I was not excited.
He was
He was there when we went to the AEW show. And it was cool. No, I mean, it was cool, but AEW not my style. I wanted to take Muffin to a show because she wanted to go to a live wrestling show. And then we all went, and they were cool, those were cool. But it's like excitement. I'm well past the point of being excited about a lot of things. Yeah.
You enjoyed it.
It was cool.
It was
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. I was entertained for what it was. It was a house show. was entertained. No, it's not that, but you talking about enjoy, like excitement. Oh yeah. Wow. Because the reality is, I only went to take Muffin to the show because Cody Rhodes was her favorite wrestler. I want you to be able to see him live. That was for her. Because if it was me, I ain't got to go. Nigga, that means that's money I ain't have to spend, traffic I ain't have to be into, and people I ain't have to be around. You know what I'm saying? Because the AEW show, we could have watched that on TV. I'm dead serious. If it wasn't for Muffin, I wouldn't win. Because that's the only reason I won. Yeah, that doesn't mean I'm excited. That means this is for her to have this experience. And then Dee wanted to go, and now she enjoyed herself. But I've seen Kevin Owens wrestle. Not like that. I've seen Kevin Owens wrestle before. I've seen Cody wrestle before. You've seen one wrestling match, you've seen them all. But that's as I say, I've watched thousands of football games. If you've seen one football game, you've seen them all. It might have different variations here and there, but it's football. You know what I'm saying? Line up, big grown men smashing into each other, see the ball hit. Oh. Say what you want to say. That's where they got it from. That's what they doing. 300-pound men crashing into each other. Hey, that's what they doing. That's what they doing. I mean, effectively. And guess what? And what y'all get amped up about? See a grown man get hacksawed on the field. I ain't never been one to like get excited because the nigga got hit hard. I go, damn, well, I hope that nigga don't die. Because they don't hit out there like they hit in my time. What we at?
John 8:40. It says, but now ye seek to kill me, a man who have told you the truth, which I have heard of Elohim. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Abba, even Elohim. Yahushua said to them, if thou, Elohim, were your father, you would love me. For I proceed forth and came from Elohim. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Because ye have not heard my word. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speak a lie, he speak of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Which of you conceive me of sin? Convince me of sin. And if I say the truth,
why don't you believe me?
It says, he that is of Elohim hear of Elohim's words. Ye therefore hear not, because ye are not of Elohim.
That's good. Now notice he said, which one of you can convince me of a sin? Which one of you can judge me? Read them that in 1 Corinthians 2:12.
1 Corinthians 6.
2:12.
It says, now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Elohim, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of Elohim, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teach, but which the Ruach HaKodesh teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receive not the things of the spirit of Elohim.
Because it is what?
For they are foolishness unto him.
That's the other aspect. Neither can he discern them. That's the other aspect. You got carnal-minded people, the things that's of God, the things that's of his Ruach, that's your foolishness in them. They can't understand it. So you can't get frustrated when they don't, because it's not for them to understand. Because if they could, that means they wouldn't be carnal. Remember, it say carnal, a carnal mind is enmity with the law of Elohim. It's not subject to it. Neither indeed can be. We still hold them Romans 8:1, by the way. Go ahead.
Verse 15. But he that is spiritual judge of all things, yet he himself is judge of no man.
He that is spiritual do what?
Judge all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. For who have known the mind of Yahuwah, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Mashiach.
Listen, he says spiritual man judge of all things, yet is judged by no man. That's why I say, which one of you can convince me of a sin? So there has to come a point in time to where there's no condemnation in you that's dwelling Yahushua HaMashiach, because you dwelling in God and God dwelling in you, so how would you be condemned? Come on back to Romans 8.
Start from the top.
Yeah, 8:1.
It says, therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Mashiach Christ, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. For the law of the spirit of life and Mashiach Yahushua have made me free from the law of sin and
That takes us
death.
back to Genesis 3:22, because if they would have ate from the tree of life, they would have been free from the law of sin and death. They would have been free from Genesis 3:19. Go ahead.
It says, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh.
Now, how is the law weak to the flesh, according to the law? Where can you read that at? How can you make that determination? That how his strength is made perfect in weakness. Oh, we're going to make some Hebrews upset with this. Read that passage again.
It's 3 right here. Romans 8:3.
Romans 8:3.
For what the law could not do, that it is weak through the flesh, Elohim sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh.
Stop. How do we find this in the law? Anybody want to roll the dice on that?
If you break it, you'll die.
Not necessarily. Read the first sentence again.
Therefore, there is now no condemnation to them which are in.
I'm talking about in the verse.
Oh yeah, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh.
First stop. First thing we have to determine, how was the law weak through the flesh? Just because. Give them law, give them weak, give them flesh, and agree. Not a bad answer, but not necessarily.
You got law is anything established, anything received by usage, a custom, a law, a command.
Cool. So now let's go to where your command is in the law. Give me Genesis 2:14.
And the name of the third river, Hadekah,
17.
17. You said 2:17?
Yeah.
It says, but of the tree of knowledge and good of evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest, therefore thou shalt surely die. And Yahuwah Elohim said, it is not good that man should be alone.
So now you have the commandment. Now y'all already know that the tree of knowledge of good and evil represents the law. So it says the law is weak through the flesh. We already read in Genesis 2:7 that he made man from the dust of the ground. So what's the next component that we can read to show that the law is weak through the flesh? Anybody? You know Rufus? You trying to tie your shoe? You don't look like you know what you're doing. Read Romans 8:3 for one more time.
It says, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh.
Stop. So we're trying to establish that sentence, what the law could not do because it was weak through the flesh. How do we look at the law and determine why Paul is saying this? The first thing that we looked at is in Genesis 2:17, he told them, all the trees of the garden you may freely eat, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for the day that you eat of it you shall die. We reference Genesis 2:7, where it said he made man from dust of the ground and breathed into him, and he became a living soul. So taking those two components in together, there's one other component in the law that shows you how the law was weak through the flesh. Nah, you ain't got to go past chapter 3. You ain't got to go past chapter 3. Read them Genesis 3:3.
It says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For Elohim do know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
What did it say after that?
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat it, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat it.
That shows you how the law was weak through the flesh. But when she saw it, she had a desire to it, that it would make her wise. Read Romans 8:3 again. That's when you take all three of these verses and put them together.
It says, for what the law could not do, that it was weak through the flesh, Elohim sending his own son in the likeness of sinful
Now
flesh.
stop. Tell them what weak mean in that verse. I didn't make sure that makes sense to you.
It's the same word, to be weak, feeble, to be without strength, powerless, to be weak in means, needy, poor.
Now let's say to be weak and without strength and powerless. So what were they without? What was the reason why they were without strength? Why were they powerless?
They didn't have faith.
They didn't have
Tree of life.
the faith. So with the dichotomy of what you're showing, what we're looking at is when he tell you that his strength is made perfect in weakness, he's showing you that faith is what makes you perfect in weakness. So when we look at don't eat from this tree, you shall surely die. You made from the dust of the ground, and this is a tree that will make one wise and desire. See, the minute you see desirable, you know that that particular desire was a desire of the flesh and not of the ruach or the inward man, because there was a pleasure aspect involved. The law doesn't give that level of strength to the flesh. That's what a lot of brews don't like to hear. Read Romans 8:3 again.
For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Elohim sending his own son in the likeness of sinful
So
flesh.
stop. So now he sends his son in the likeness of Adam. And what did he do?
It says, and for sin, he condemned sin in the flesh.
So now he condemns sin in the flesh. So then how does he pull that off? We'll read John 15:22.
It says, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin.
Go ahead.
He that hated me hated my Abba also. If I had not
Indeed,
done
Mother
among them the works of which no other man did, they did not have sin. But now they have both seen and hated both me and my Abba.
The epistle to the Hebrews 4 and 5.
And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest, seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached enter not in because of unbelief. Again, he
They
limited
said they didn't get in because of what?
unbelief.
Now, read the first verse of this very chapter, then go back. Read this first letter. Matter of fact, back it up to the third chapter and give me verse 28. This is the epistle to the Hebrews, chapter 3, verse 28.
He only got 19.
Well, 19 then, my bad, because I was just guessing. Make it 17. I get it.
But with whom he have grieved 40 years was not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness, and to whom swear he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not. So we see
They got what?
that believe
Now
not.
listen. In Deuteronomy 32, he told you these are children in whom have no faith. Now we go back and we mentioned, right, that refuge in Isaiah 26 meant rock. Now remember, he mentioned his love was enough for you when he's talking to Paul. And you sit back and you look at, because I was just talking to man Jake about this yesterday. He was like, of course the people would be complaining when they were in the wilderness because they were tortured. I said, but the reality was the people in the wilderness really tortured, or did they make a short journey longer because of unbelief? See what did them in the wilderness was not the laws. It was their unbelief, but it also showed you that the law was weak through the flesh, because none of them instructions stopped them from doing the stuff they were doing. when they made that golden calf, that didn't stop. That was a violation of the law. When they was around there getting it in with Baal Peor, that's violations of the law. That's weak through the flesh. Now, I'm saying that because when you look at Caleb and Yahushua, son of Nun, they didn't have them problems. And you know why they didn't have them problems? Because they trusted in you. See, the trust in you will overcome the weakness. That's why he say, my strength is made perfect in weakness. And that level of infirmity, the faith in Elohim will overpower that. People don't be realizing that. That's why I mentioned that last night. When you look at love, love is the strongest attribute of power that an individual can wield. But you don't look at it that way because you look at it from an emotional standpoint and not a godly standpoint. You know what I'm saying? From a godly standpoint, the love of Elohim can crush anything. It's the love of Elohim that took Goliath down. Because he trusted in Yahuwah. That's why he said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that defied the armies of the living Elohim? This is a man. This is not even a man. This is a young man, a boy, if you would, taking down a trained warrior. See, some people look at the size. I don't care about how tall they say, well, this is a trained warrior. Because remember, they gave David all the armor. He took it off and said, I ain't proved that yet. But this is a warrior he facing. This is a soldier. See, listen, right? It's a lot of niggas on the street or sit back and tell you they a soldier. We just playing this song the other day, man. You go back about 1994, 95, and the majority of the United States of America, you couldn't tell them they wasn't no limit soldiers with fatigues on, man. That's what they do. The killers of killers who ever killed ain't gonna strike a match in a blackout. You understand what I'm telling you? Because there's a difference when you walk up on a nigga who playing soldier and you meet a trainer. This man trained to kill. This is what he do. I've been in battles. I've been in war. Have y'all ever met a man who's been in a war? They different. They different. When you, especially if you can get them to discuss it. They different. They not like that nigga you know around the corner, man. That man ain't never been in no war. Even if we say this quote unquote wars in neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's not the same as going in an actual war zone. And you've been trained for that. It's been wars out east, but that's just, hey, you got to be in self-defense mode. These men were trained killers. I'm training you for the explicit purpose of being a killing machine. Ain't no nigga around here getting trained to be no killing machine. Going to no boot camp and getting, what you call it? Extra added training for the aspect of being a killing machine. And that's who David ran up on. A trained warrior. Not even just a trained warrior, a decorated warrior. It took the faith and love of God to take a man like that down. Because everybody else was terrified. And that's an actual scriptural example of my strength is made perfect in weakness. Because they were in a weakened state, and the strength of faith that David had, yeah, man, get this whole nigga out. Man, to literally, as a young man, step to a trained killer and say, oh, who is this uncircumcised? Man, I'm finna kill this nigga. Yeah, man, you don't do that on your own. You got to know who with you. When Caleb and Yahushua, son of Nun, came back, they said, man, don't worry about the people. Food for us. That's what they said. These people food for us, man. Oh, nah, man, them giants gonna get us. They probably like, this whole nigga here, man. Nigga, chill out. We got God. It literally said in the text, it said the men food for us, man. Hold on, man. They think I'm making that up. Man, number 13 and 22. I ain't making that up.
It says, and they ascended.
Where they come from?
And they ascended by the south and came into Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishah, and Talmah, and the children of Anak were. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt, and they came unto the brook of Eshcol and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare it between the two upon a staff, and they brought the pomegranates and of the figs. The place was called Brook Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from thence. And they returned from searching of the land after 40 days, and they went and came to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran and Kadesh, and brought back the word unto them and unto all the congregation, and they showed them the fruit of the land. And they told them and said, we came unto the land whether thou sent us, and surely flowed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there, and the Amalekites dwelled in the land of the south, and then the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwelled in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwelled by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb still the people before Moses and said, let us go up once and possess it, for we are all able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search is the land that eateth upon the inhabitations thereof, and all the people that we saw in it, and the men of great stature. And there we saw no giants of the son of Enoch, which come to the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so were there in their sight.
That's the end of that chapter.
Yeah, go to 14. I didn't hear it. Everybody said bread. Yeah, 14. You can just keep on rolling. It's in 14 anyway. 13 just set the stage, but read 14.
I mean, but basically it's bread, it's lakim, it's food.
All right.
Excuse. You
And
like
all,
fiddle, don't you?
and all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night, and all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said to them.
Now this is a little scriptural example of how his strength is made perfect in weakness. This is also an example of how his love was enough for them, and another example of how Moses comes in to be an intercessor to plead on their behalf. Was going back to when now this ain't this example of, we can say this is an example of the congregation sitting through their burdens, but this is also an example when it say when one sin willfully, and that definition in that Greek is just out of weakness, because this sin that these people were doing was out of weakness because they had no faith. They didn't believe that their God was able to overcome these people, even though they just watched him destroy the Egyptians. They watched it. They seen it. You know what I'm saying? Well, go ahead.
Verse 14:2. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, would Elohim that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would Elohim we have died in the wilderness? And wherefore hath Yahuwah brought us into the land to fall by the sword, that our wives and children should be a prey? Where it not be better for us to return to Egypt? And they said one to another, let us make a captain, and let us return to Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their face before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes, and they spoke unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is exceedingly good land. If Yahuwah delight in us, then he shall bring us into the land and give it to us, and the land which flow with milk and honey. Only rebel not yet against Yahuwah, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us.
They what for us?
They're bread for us.
Eat these niggas, man.
Their defense,
Food for us.
the defense is departed from them, and Yahuwah is with us. Fear them not.
My strength is made perfect in weakness, and my love is enough for you. But listen what these people say.
But all the congregation bade stone with stones, and the
Man, they wanted to kill him. Listen to what these people wanted to kill him because they simply said, man, God is with us. They said, no, we can kill him. Go ahead.
But all the congregation bade stones with stones, and the esteem of Yahuwah appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? How long will it be ere they believe me? For all the signs which I have showed among them.
Remember, the signs are for those who what?
Don't believe.
So they got signs to show that they could trust in God, and they still didn't do it. Go ahead.
I will smite them with the pestilence and the.
Now we're going to keep on reading this one here for intercession. And then we'll read Jeremiah 42:1 for more intercession. Go ahead.
And will make of thee a greater nation and a mightier than they. And Moses said unto Yahuwah, then the Egyptians shall hear, for thou broughtest up the people in thy might from among them, and they will tell it to the inhabitations of the land, for they have heard that Yahuwah are among this people, that thou Yahuwah art seen face to face, and thou couldst stand up over them, and that thou goest before them by daytime in the pillar of a cloud, and in the pillar of the fire by night. For if thou wilt kill all this people as one man, then the nation
He'll do what with his people?
kill all this people as one man,
As one what?
as one man.
That's literally what he did with Amashah. Killed it. That goes back when we were talking about one body. He wanted to kill them all as one man. You understand what that means? That's the way the same you take out one man, I'm gonna gather all them up and kill them just like that at one time. Get rid of all of them. Go ahead.
It says, then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, because Yahuwah was not able to bring this people into the land which he swore to them, therefore he hath slain them in the wilderness. And now I beseech thee, that the power of Yahuwah be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, Yahuwah is long suffering, great of mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression.
See how this is, his love is enough for you. But it wasn't enough for them. Go ahead.
And by no means claim the guilty, visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people according to the greatness of thy mercy, and as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt even to now. And Yahuwah said, I have pardoned according to thy word. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the esteem of Yahuwah, because all those men which have seen my esteem and my miracles which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, surely they shall not see the land which I swear to their fathers.
Now that's going another deal. Nevertheless, you see Moses intercede on their behalf. The aspect of him pardoning and forgiving and being long suffering in them is the sign that his love was enough, but his love they rejected the entire time. Now, in the regards of Joshua and Caleb, his strength was made perfect in weakness, because they could have thought about the same thing about the children of Anak and Amalek in the 5th cities, but instead they relied on their maker, while the other people spoke evil of the land because they were fearful. Now, this is a kind of separate showing you how this talks about how the law is weak through the flesh, because that's all they had was instructions. Those instructions is not going to give you strength. I don't know why niggas be telling niggas that, but it don't. You ever got strength? Because, listen, we had to mess with the dog, right? Because I'm telling them, hey, man, we finna pull up on guys. I'm finna get some deer burgers, man, because I'm trying to get some biscuits and gravy in the morning with some deer meat in it. And I did. You don't like deer hamburger? It tastes like hamburger. You know, I'm going to confess. You open the door, but I'm going to close it. I'm gonna let your husband tell the joke. Hey, you don't like dancing? Oh, you like vulture? You like a little, because you know that's what they try to tell you. If you're eating a turkey, you're eating a vulture. Nah. The dude, my dog was like, "Deers don't chew the cud." I'm like, "Niggas, you stupid." We had to go through a whole. Y'all know what it means to chew the cud, right? Besides just eating bread, y'all know what it means. It just basically means that that animal regurgitates his food, scrapes it in his tongue, and eats it. You know what I'm saying? Which is what deers and cows do. You know what I'm saying? They eat grass, throw it back up, eat it again. Well, they got 3. I only know that because somebody pulled that up for me yesterday. See, my deers don't got 3 stomachs, and then deers got 3 stomachs. Because I'm like, yeah, nigga, elk, bison, field, buffalo, deer, ate all the burgers. I mean, I was in prison, Cracker tried to give me raccoons. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, one of them CEOs, I got some cool, man. I said, yeah, I'm good, cuz. You ever seen a raccoon, nigga? You think I want to eat that? Nigga, they hang out in dumpsters, cuz. Dumpsters. Man, listen. I stopped eating pork in 1996. So at the time this man is offering me raccoon, it's like 2006, 7, or 8. I'm like, sir, I can eat pork for this. I ain't eating no raccoon, cuz. He cracked like, I got some possum. Rabies. Why is you eating possum, cuz? Have you seen a possum, sir? That don't even look like something. Like, you know what? Let's eat that. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, we was thinking about getting. I'm glad. I forgot who that was. It might have been Shuba. Jake told me that, but it was like, be careful with the deer sausages because they be having it in 4 cases, and they damn sure did too.
What's up with you, man?
Like outside casing of it.
Force cake.
Force it. Peeling it back.
I mean, that's how they put it in there, though.
But now it had it on the package because I got deer hamburger the last time we did it. So I ain't looking at that the deer sauce. You know what I'm saying? They were wild on the package too, man. I didn't like it because he found it funny. But they got it done to my jalapeno high. I'm like, damn, boy, that took me back to the days niggas was buying Roger Wood. Look at you, I know it. You look like one of the niggas around the way always had a Roger Wood.
And I ain't gonna front. Our grandma used to kill us with the Roger Wood.
Every morning. Boy, you ain't from Jacksonville if you ain't got no Roger Wood.
White bread and Roger Wood, man.
That's why I said that. I had to see who really from here. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really from here, you had your days with Roger Wood's hospital. They good. I enjoy it. But that's why most of y'all didn't grow up eating no hot dogs. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they gave you a Roger Wood for everything. Beanie weenies.
Nah, hey, boy, that's facts, man. You better not have no Roger Wood on your bun at no cookout, nigga. Hot dogs for the kids.
Yeah, they catch you at the cookout with a Roger Wood. Somebody get beat in front of everybody. Yeah, that's real now.
You have to get that beef frank, boy.
Yeah, you gotta get that beef frank, boy. You say Southerners are different? Yeah, man, it's different out here, man. That's a Winn Dixie brand right there, man. Y'all ain't got no Winn Dixie for y'all. You know, Winn Dixie was based in Jacksonville. Well, it used to be. I don't know where it's based at now. Them niggas went bankrupt. Ain't that son? They took all the Winn Dixie, turned them into ours. Yeah. Not a ugly Save a Lot. Not about Save a Lot. I ain't never Save a Lot. Never Save a Lot. That's definitely misleading. But listen. Go to Jeremiah 42:1. Now we're gonna get back to Romans 8. Because like this is the thing. When he say he condemned sinful flesh in the flesh, it's showing that the law was weak. He was showing you the same way that the tree of life would have overpowered death and that they would have been able to live forever, to show you that faith in God is the most powerful thing. That the righteousness that's of Elohim is going to overpower the righteousness which is of the law, which individuals don't like to hear because in their mind, which is the wildest part. When you have these conversations, they think that means you saying not to keep the law, yet in the same breath, these people tell you they be sinning. But people who actually live the word never hear that this means I can sin. And that's just my observation, what I noticed. Y'all don't be in these circles and notice this. They be like, oh, so you saying we ain't got to keep the law. Where did you hear that at? That's just like telling somebody, hey, for better hydration, watermelon and coconut water is better than water. Did I just tell you not to drink water? I just tell you that these two things exceed in hydration this. So if I tell you faith is greater than the law, did I just tell you not to keep it? Listen. Who does somebody just, that was you just asked about that, say you were dehydrated. You can drink a lot of water and it'll hydrate you. But coconut water and watermelon water, without question, will hydrate you better. You know what I'm saying? Because they have, remember when the dude, you know, the Yaki dude, and everybody got upset with him when he was like, you can get more hydrated with fruit than you can with water, because he was talking about something on a molecular level that, yeah, water will hydrate you, but fruit will hydrate you better. Simply because those fruits have certain things in it that water doesn't have, which is the electrolytes. Does that mean, did he ever say don't drink water? No, he ain't tell nobody not to drink no water. You the only person gonna hear that? A damn fool. And you know what that tell me? These niggas can't read. Because you know what else comes with reading? Comprehension. And when you can't read, your reading comprehension is bad, which means your listening comprehension is bad. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people read certain stuff in Paul's letters. They can't comprehend what they talk about because they can't read. Or my nigga Judah like to say, they educated dummies. You done got so smart, you stupid. You ever met somebody like that? I know plenty. They so smart, they dumb. Yeah, man, it's a lot of people like that. You overeducated yourself. That's what Ecclesiastes was really talking about when they say be careful with many books for you destroy yourself, because you done learn so much that fundamentally and practically you're an idiot. Because the only thing that you can look at stuff through it is very few people who have the ability to continually educate themselves and balance their education with common real world sense and application. That they know that what I learned in this space is tangible in this space, but I might not necessarily can bring it over here. Or just because this person says this, I can comprehend what they mean, but I know it's not overarching. A lot of people don't have the mental capacity to do that. Because then most people just want to load stuff just for the sake of knowing. I know y'all not playing peekaboo in here. You better peek your butt down somewhere. Don't try to act like you sleep. Maury, your daddy talking to you. Go ahead. Jeremiah 42:1. This is more on intercession.
It says, then all the captains of the forces of Johanna, the son of Kareah, and Jezaniah, the son of Hoshea, and all the people from the least even unto the greatest came near and said unto Jeremiah the prophet, let we beseech thee, our supplication be accepted before thee, and pray for us unto Yahuwah the Elohim, even all this remnant. For we are left a few of many, as thine eyes do behold us, that Yahuwah the Elohim may show us the way wherein we may walk, and the thing that we may do. Then Jeremiah the
Sister
prophet
Regina said she was taught the law was done away with, and all they had to do was ask for forgiveness. Now, most of y'all done heard that before, but from a fundamental standpoint, does that make common sense? Now, I notice when you in the church, you're not gonna think about it. So this is not to ridicule you if you thought that way. But when you step back and think about it, right? Those are directions, they're commands, right? If it's done away with, what you asking forgiveness for? Because if it's done away with, that means the penalties that come along with which was done away is gone, so therefore there would be no need for forgiveness. Now that makes common sense to me. You would only ask for forgiveness if there was a violation and there was a punishment that could be exacted from said violation. But see, these people be playing games, man. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Go ahead.
Then Jeremiah the prophet said unto them, I have heard, behold, I will pray unto Yahuwah your Elohim according to your words, and it shall come to pass that whatsoever thing Yahuwah shall answer you, I will declare unto you. I will keep nothing back from you. Then they said to Jeremiah, Yahuwah be a true and faithful witness between us, if we do not, even according to all the things which Yahuwah the Elohim shall send thee to us, whether it be of good or whether it be of evil, we will obey the voice of Yahuwah our Elohim, to whom we send thee, that it may be well with us when we obeyed the voice of Yahuwah our Elohim. And it came to pass after 10 days that the word of Yahuwah came into Jeremiah.
See, I want you to see this here because people always say they could go directly to God, but you literally see them going to Jeremiah and say, you intercede on our behalf. And you know why they were going to Jeremiah to do this? Why was they going to Jeremiah for him to be the intercessor? Because they were wicked as hell. They couldn't get access to him. Go ahead. We still holding Hebrews 3, by the way.
Then called Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces which were with him, and all the people from the least even to the greatest, and said unto them, Thus say Yahuwah, the Elohim of Israel, unto whom ye sent me to present your supplication before him. If ye will still abide in this land, then will I build you and not pull you down, and I will
What the
you.
hell? Hold on. What the hell you got going on, boy?
Oh my God. Yo.
But you ain't go to sleep last night, what? But you all right? You good? Well, you had to been asleep good, boy. He went to sleep last night? I don't know. I was asleep. But you woke up like somebody woke you up for school, boy. See, that's what happened. You be up late at night on the phone with a white girl, boy. Stay out that smoke, boy. You're a tropical people. Now you had seen that boy looked up like he when you slap somebody like, get up from school. This nigga just fell out the chair.
Put some water on your face.
Shoot, go get a cup, man. I throw it in the face right now. Ah! Cold water, ice. That's what they like. Go ahead. I think definitely fell out that chair.
We're in verse 10. It says, If ye will still abide in the land, then will I build you and will not pull you down, and I will plant you and not pluck you up. For I repent me of the evil that I have done unto you. Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom ye are afraid. Be not afraid of him, say Yahuwah, for I am with you to save you and to deliver you from his hand.
Stop. Now they coming to him again because they're in a position of weakness. And he's giving them words of encouragement of what he's going to do because his strength is made perfect in weakness and his love is sufficient for them. Now, of course, they turned it down. But that's the children of Israel for you. Come back to the epistle of Hebrews 3 and 17 one more time. Because we got to work that all the way to 13 to get back to the verse where he say, and he condemned sinful flesh in the flesh. But that's what I came to Hebrews for the first.
Yeah. You said Hebrews 3
17.
Appreciate it. Hebrews 3 and 17. But with whom was grieving, hold on. It says, but who was he grieved 40 years was not with them. They had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness, and to whom he swore that he should not enter into his rest,
Right.
but to them that believe not. So we see that they could not enter into
Because of what?
Unbelief.
Go ahead.
That's the end of that chapter.
This is Hebrews 4 and 1.
Let us therefore fear, lest they promise being left of entering to his rest, any of you should seem to come short of
Because the
it,
gospel was preached
as well unto them,
as unto us,
but they did not profit them,
not being mixed,
with the faith in them.
that heard it.
Yep.
See, listen, individuals, the word is only going to profit an individual according to the faith of the individual who hears it. Where there is no faith, there is no profit, which is why the law is weak through the flesh. Because the law is not of faith, the law is not of promise, and the flesh is weak. How is it weak? Because he tell you, I did not know lust except the law said thou shalt not covet. Therefore showing how it is weak through the flesh. Not that the law is weak, because he said the law is just, kadash, and good. But through the flesh, it's weak, because we read that in Genesis 3. It don't give you strength. Not the strength that we talk about, not the strength of God. That's what niggas don't want to hear though. Niggas want to hear he feel like he's strong because he don't eat pork chop. Meanwhile, you don't trust God, you're malicious, you're spiteful, you're contentious, you're lust-filled, you're an adulterer, you're a fornicator, you got an evil eye, you a blasphemer. But I'm strong, brother. Look at my zeets. But you looked at them zeets and went right in the bathroom and beat your meat. Listen, bro, there's a song out there that says I'm sinning with my fringes on. This is a real song. What am I lying? Nigga said it was a hit. That you know, if it's a hit, you know what that tell you? No disrespect to the artists, that tell you that these niggas be sinning. That's what that tell you. Because you can relate to sinning with your fringes on. But what was the fringes supposed to remind you to not do? Not just that, but to not go after your own desires. It say not to go after your own heart, which means not to go after your own lab or the seat of your own emotions or your seat of your own desire. But guess what that means? That's weak through the flesh. That's why they don't like to hear it when it said until the time of reformation come with the dispensation of carnal ordinances. Because the Ruach ain't weak through the flesh. That's why they get mad. That's why these niggas don't fool with us because we ain't got no fringes on. Because them fringes weak through the flesh. Boy, you still went and slept with that woman, boy. You still went in that room and messed up them socks and bed sheets. You still hate your brother. And you still don't trust God. I'm dead serious, man. That's why we reach out a lot of people. They look at that funny. Where your friends is at, brother? At your mammy house. That don't make you righteous because you got them on, because you still feel comfortable enough to sin with them on. No disrespect to brothers who wear them, because I don't care if you wear them or not. Go ahead, man.
Hebrews 4:3. For we which have believed do enter into his rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and Elohim did rest the seventh day from all his works. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest, seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and that to whom it was first preached entered not, and because of unbelief. Again, he limited a certain day, saying in David, today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if you will hear my voice, harden not your hearts. For if Yahushua had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day? There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of Elohim, for he that is entered into his rest, he also ceased from his own works, as Elohim from his. Let us not labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man shall fall at the same example of unbelief. For the word of Elohim, quick and powerful, sharper than a two-edged sword, piercing even to dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints of the marrow, and a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things naked and open unto the eyes of him whom we have to do. Seeing that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahushua the son of Elohim, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like we, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace.
He was tempted like as we are, yet without what?
Without sin.
See, that's how faith is stronger than he didn't have that weakness in the flesh. That's why he was able to condemn sinful flesh in the flesh. Because he said, my Father gave me a commandment what I should say and what I should speak. And I know his commandment is like everlasting. That's what people don't even want to hear. You know what I'm saying? But go back to Romans 8 though. Back to 3.
For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Elohim sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, whom walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit.
After the what?
But after the spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded, life and peace. Because the carnal mind, enmity against Elohim, for it is not subject to the law of Elohim, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Elohim.
And that's why Adam and Eve couldn't please Elohim. Now we can also sit back and look at Adam as his strength was made perfect in weakness, and the aspect of Adam willing to lay his life down for his wife, but that's a whole nother dichotomy. We're not gonna do that right now. Go ahead.
But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the spirit of Elohim dwell in you. Now if any man have not the spirit of Mashiach, he is none of his. And in Christ being you, the body dead because of sin.
See, now if the Mashiach is in you through faith, then the flesh is dead, so therefore that's how faith is stronger than the flesh. So go back to 1 Corinthians 15, what we start at? Just give me 42.
It says also the resurrection of the dead, it is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in esteem. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul, and the last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
See, that's the difference. So the first one was weighed of the earthly, which you about to read, and the second one from heaven. But that law is weak through the flesh because it stimulates the desire. See, read the epistle to the Romans 7 and 5.
For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of spirit and not in the oldness of the letter.
Mm-hmm.
It says, what shall we say then? Is the law sin?
God forbid.
Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. But sin take occasion by the commandment brought in me all manner of
conspicuous. Which is just desire.
Yeah. For without the law, sin was dead.
It was dead.
For I was alive without the law.
See, let's go back to what we were talking about with Adam. Without the law, there was no sin, it was dead. When he didn't eat from that tree, it was no law, so sin was dead. There was no life to sin. Sin is only given life through lust. See, pause and read them the epistle to James 1 and 12. Yeah, sin only gives life when desire is present. You kill desire and sin has no oxygen. You feed desire and sin has all the life it needs. Go ahead.
James 1 and 12. It says, bless the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the master hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Elohim, for Elohim cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath
He say every man is tempted when he's drawn away in what?
of his own lust.
Of his own what? Hold on, listen what he say.
Of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bring forth sin.
And sin,
When it is finished, bring forth death.
do not err.
My beloved brethren.
So listen, he told you when lust is conceived, that's when sin come about. When sin come about, that's when death come about. So when we go back to Genesis 3 and we read and it says this is a tree desirable to make one wise, lust had conceived and that brought forth sin, which brought forth death. But when there was no law, there was no sin. So that's why you have to mortify your members and take up your state daily and follow him, or as Paul put it, dying daily, because if you put the lust to death, sin can never be conceived. And if sin can never be conceived, then death can't be produced. And the law cannot do that. The law can't put the flesh to death.
You have to have faith in God to put that in there. The law not going to, like it said in Romans 7, you go back to Romans 7, the law going to store up the motions of sin that's in your body. Because it's going to point out if you have, you all know this as a child, even with your own children now. Because like I bought some ice cream for these niggas, right? On Tuesday. Do you know these niggas ate all this goddamn ice cream by Thursday? No, this is not the thing. I only sanctioned one day for them to get some ice cream. So you know that means what they were doing? They were going in there taking ice cream. But see, I only mentioned that because it's been different than when I said don't get ice cream. Because now when you say don't get it, the motions of their desire say, let me go in that refrigerator and get some ice cream. Simply because you told me no. And I have a desire for this. See, when you have a desire for something and then you get told you can't have it, that make you want to go get it. See, like you be hard here. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got to tell you, you be hard here. They tell you, no, don't do that. Then you be like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to go do that there. Then guess what happened? You get a stomach ache. Now you got explosive diarrhea. Volatile rectal behavior. I only said that, I just read something about it. Some virus going around in some salads and junk, and they talking about people have volatile rectal behavior. Man, what's happening, man? What you need, man? What you need? Don't come in here with that shenanigans. That's I'm finna get you. I be letting you live. He ain't gonna let you live. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta think about that though. 'Cause that's how that happened. A lot of y'all, when y'all was young, don't you go out there messing with them little boys and what you did. All of that little boy face. And it wasn't because you liked that little boy. It's simply because they told you not to do it. So now the emotions of your desires is stirred up in you, and now you want to go satisfy that desire. You ain't even really want to talk to that little boy. It was simply because they told you not to do it. That's how it happened. That's one thing I learned at an early age. Don't never, if you want a little girl to do something or a woman to do something, tell her to do the opposite. Because if you tell her not to do something, she's going to go do it. Simply because you told her not to do it. That's how I used to do, you know what I'm saying, get Muffin to do stuff and she would look. I'd be like, yeah, don't go over there and do that. That's what I really wanted you to do. Because I noticed early, like this here, she quit, you're not the boss of me. Your mama said different. Your mama said different. You ain't following the rule. But then I just use that example as, I'm not talking about grown, I'm talking about children, you know, young. But then when you get older, you see that everybody like that, man or woman, young or old. You know what I'm saying? And it just be contingent on, well, then I took something that I observed as a child and youth and seen when I got in the word, or it worked the same way. When you tell people things that lay down certain rules, it stirs up the desire that's in that individual according to whatever rule that is. So when he say the motions of sin that's in your members, because if the law say, hey, don't be an adulterer, and you got an adulterous mind, that's going to stir that up. Weak through flesh. It's going to stir it up. If you don't have that type of mind, then it's not going to do that to you. But if you a thief and you hear thou shalt not steal, it's going to stir that up in you. If you an envious, jealous person and you read that, that's going to stir that up in you. Because it can't get, the law itself don't give you strength to quash that. And that's what people don't be wanting to hear. That's why they try to put it on something. I got a sex demon. You ain't got no sex demon on you, bro. You're a pervert. That's what people say. You got a sex demon. Ain't never read or heard nothing about no sex demon. He is the sex demon. But again, that's rooted in an overwhelming sense of a desire for pleasure. So that's when you have to, as a man, you have to sit back and assess, why do I have an overwhelming desire for pleasure? Where does that come from? What is that rooted in? That's when you have to go ahead and pull the curtain back. Read me the Epistle of James 1:18. You got to go deep within inside. You got to look within yourself.
It says, of his own will begot he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Elohim.
Hold up.
Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity and naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your
You need to
soul.
receive the what?
It
The
says,
engrafted word. Tell them what engrafted means.
It says, inborn, implanted by nature, implanted by others' instructions, implanted figuratively.
Is
Engrafted.
it is implanted by others' instructions? What that last one was?
Implanted figuratively, engrafted.
Now listen. Hush your mouth and sit up, to both of you. Hush, sit up. More, sit up. Now, when you take into account, right? Oh, how can he hear without a preacher? That's how they engraft the word is implanted. By teaching. The word is preached unto you. See, of course, you know everybody say, well, they say we won't teach everybody. That's how you know we're not in the new covenant, because they don't know what that means. They don't simply mean that they don't understand that means that, yeah, the gospel is preached unto you, and once you have received the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, the breath of God, the power of God, whatever adjective that you would want to use to describe it. Now the word is in you and you in the word, so no, you don't need nobody to teach you the word, and you goofy. So these dudes wondering why the law ain't in our hearts, because you ain't received it by instruction, you goofy, you idiot, you imbecile, because you don't believe it, you don't keep it, you don't want to do it, so there's no way that he can dwell in you. You are unclean vessel. See, what do these people do before they sell your house or rent you a house or an apartment? What's the one thing they do before you move in? They clean it. Because it has to be a clean place for you to dwell in. Because how many of y'all gonna move into a new home and it's filthy? So now you think the living Elohim want to come dwell in a filthy tabernacle? But these dudes think because, I don't eat pork, or I tell people to keep the laws, or I tell people I'm an Israelite. Meanwhile, your tabernacle is filthy. He don't want to dwell there. So he don't. And people don't want to hear that. Because you don't even want to dwell in a filthy house, but you expect God to. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that because, again, that's what we taught. That's what we told. Now, what I was needed telling me about somebody saying, they were talking about, it was like, Biggie Rangers was a prophet. Listen, but I get it from the understanding of the aspect of where they coming from. Because they were talking about, it's the only nigga I seen, made street niggas, killers, cry at the club playing Kirk Franklin. Now, when you sit back and you take a step back and you put yourself in their shoes from their perspective of what they think they know about the word and what they think they know about Yahuwah, I can see how they would come to that conclusion. When you know the word, that is pure and utter folly. But how many of these people actually know the word to know that that's folly? How many even know what a prophet would be doing? A prophet would be warning you to not even be in the location where y'all in here crying. A prophet would be warning you to stop the lifestyle that you was living in the first place. But they don't know that. So when you have to sit back and look at it, he was a prophet for the God that they serve. That may not be the God of heaven and earth. See what I'm saying? That be able to hear it, because you hear stuff like that, how you're like, oh God, your instinct is to be like, hey, niggas stupid as hell. But in the reality, stop, pause for a moment. These niggas don't know God. They don't know the word. So from their point of view, he was exactly that. They would say he was an imperfect prophet. Ain't no such thing. Because we know an imperfect prophet would mean this prophet is not complete and not whole in Yahuwah. That's not even possible. Now, I only mention that because it's just so, y'all don't be realizing how many people really don't know. They may know elements of things, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't know for real, you make grievous mistakes. Because you have to say things that make sense, that's palpable in your mind. Because obviously, big figure in the city, they got to put something that makes it satisfactory in their brain to deal with this person dying. I see somebody say, you had to meet with God and just couldn't wait. No, that's not how that works, baby. It's not God saying, come on up here and meet with me. Everybody got a date. Everybody got to go. But then also just realizing the fact that this man was on dialysis. This ain't God having a meeting. How long do you think you're going to last on that? Listen, I would tell them, out of all the people I came across in dialysis, my mama was the only one I never heard say she was tired. What I mean by that is, boy, people get tired. They get tired of going on that machine. They get tired of dealing with all that stuff, and they be ready to go. But she used to do it at home. You know what I'm saying? While she was asleep. You know what I'm saying? She stopped doing it because she got an infection in her arm. But most people I've met on dialysis, man, they be like, well, I'm tired. Because it take a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? But we don't be thinking that. Listen, man, my homeboy, I told you, just died not too long ago. And his sister going through it, and she like, I can't believe God took him. Your brother didn't take care of himself and took himself off the ventilator. Black people are the only people that think you're going to live a long time when you don't take care of yourself. And then you be like, God, don't make no mistakes. It's not a mistake to be made. In Adam, we all died. There's no mistake to be made. You're all going to die. But again, this is coming from a misunderstanding and misinterpretation and misapplication and misinstruction of the word. That's all it comes from. That's why we have all of these statements that we make that don't really line up with the word. So then when you get in the word and you hear people say that, it bothers you, but then you have to realize, man, these people don't know just like at one time you didn't know. So if somebody would have said that to you, it would have made sense. You know what I'm saying? Where we at with here?
We in that James 1:22.
Go ahead.
He says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
Straightway forget what manner of man he was.
But whoso look unto the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the word, this man shall be blessed in his deeds.
Notice he said, if you forget where you come from, you like a man who look into a glass and don't even remember where you came from. Because that word is supposed to reflect back who you are, but you forgot. You know what I'm saying? He tell him, read it again.
It says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
That's what happened with a lot of people who in this game. Because you hearing it, but you're not doing it. And see, doing it is just not the instructions. You violent, what? She's sitting on the chair. Hey, y'all said, don't come in here with all that stuff. I don't care about what y'all, hey man, y'all ain't got nothing to ask nobody about, none of that when you come in here. You got something to talk about, you stay on the other side of that door. See, some of y'all probably, when somebody say something, y'all be looking crazy because y'all be feeling like, well, what I feel, think, or got to say is important at any given time. I'm here to tell you that it's not. Not when something else is going on. If nothing's going on, then that's fine. But when you see something being officiated, something being conducted, and you think that way, that means you believe you're more important than the program. Ain't no more one person more important than the program. Because if Yahusha himself wasn't more important than the program, you ain't more important than the program. But y'all be like, I want to ask this and do that. I know you children, you don't be understanding. But you know when I know you understand it? When you be in the cracker space. And that junk that irritate me the most is y'all got more respect for them white folks than you do for people who look like you. Because them teachers at that school, they may care about you, but they don't care about you at the same time. They care about you when they're in their classroom. And some of them care about you for life. Don't get it twisted. Because some teachers care about their students. But for the most part, them people are not invested in your success in life in general. You can't have more, you have respect for them because you feel like you can get suspended from school and then people gonna call your people. You feel like y'all can't do nothing to me. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. But that don't mean the Lord ain't gonna come see you. And when I say come see you, man, it might be something you want to do and you ain't gonna get to do it. And it's something you're gonna desire to have and you ain't gonna get to have it. And you'll learn then to have some respect and stop being rude, disrespectful. Because none of y'all walk in y'all classrooms and just go to talking and asking random questions. So I expect you to have the same level of respect when you walk in mine. Because I can just do better, just put you out. Ain't no principal's office, ain't no referral, just get out. And see, some of y'all, you think that'll be great, but after you go outside and run around for a little bit, and you realize you got to keep going, you're going to want to be in here with everybody else. Because the difference is I ain't going to send nobody else out there with you. You're going to be out there by yourself. Let somebody else want to act a fool and you can go out there with them. But see, I just told Muffin, I said, see, I be trying to be cool. But you know what I'm saying? Nah, I telling them, like, you really want your mama to deal with y'all in the totality. You don't want me to deal with y'all. Because if I deal with y'all, it's going to be a level of military precision that you're not going to like. And they sized me the other day and I said, nah, y'all got to have it. Because I tried to be nice to you. Now I can't be nice to you. Now you have to be disciplined at a level of discipline that I don't think you can mentally handle because I'm not going to play with you. I really don't give a damn about you, man. I don't care about your feelings. I ain't got to raise my voice. You're going to do exactly what I told you to do, how I told you to do it, in the manner of time I told you to do it, or you will lose every single desire and privilege that you can even conceive in your brain before you even thought of conceiving. Because I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, and I want it done exactly how I want it done. I don't want no excuses. And I'm not going to tell you to do it once I've told you when I expect it to be done. If you're waiting on me to tell you what to do when I already told you to do it, you're going to stay waiting. You're going to suffer the consequence when I follow my orders. And that's it. I ain't going to go, remember to wash the dishes. If I already told you to wash the dishes, don't you wait till it's time for you to go to bed to wash no goddamn dishes. That's a demerit. You should have did it 4 hours ago. Don't wait till 7 o'clock to do what you could have did at 3 o'clock. It's going to be a problem. I ain't playing none of that. I don't give them, well, I got it done. No, you didn't get it done in the proper time frame. You should have had it done at 1,500 hours. That's when you should have had it done. You know why? Because I told you to do it at 6 o'clock in the morning. I told you to do it at 7 o'clock. Why you think you can wait till 5 and do it? That means you feel like you can just do stuff when you feel like it. I'm accept it. I'm not. See, I already do the babies like that. See, I don't mind. I sit there, you gonna clean this goddamn room, I ain't going nowhere. So I don't mind repeating myself. You gonna do what the hell I say to do. When I say to do it. How I say to do it. Or you don't have to have no fun. Told him yesterday, they're sizing my wife, say, man, your mama the one who wants y'all to go to the pool. You ain't got to go messing. You ain't got to go nowhere. So y'all be wanting to take him anyway. Man, leave them niggas at home. Bump that junk because you don't want to be in the house with them. I don't give a damn. You're not finna act any type of way. I'm finna reward you because I just want you out of the house. You ain't got to go nowhere. You ain't got to have nothing. You need to learn them niggas that, and maybe they'll learn how to behave. Because if they can still do what they want and act any kind of way, there's no incentive for them to stop. That's what I was telling the dog yesterday. Like I said, man, like if God just rewards you for disobeying, what is there incentive for you to not disobey? There is none, because you're still going to reward me for my incongruent behavior. You're incorrigible. You're disrespectful. You're hard-headed. And you think I'm going to bless you still? Because you want it? Hell no. I wasn't raised like that, man. My mama didn't mind. Yeah, I planned on going here. We ain't going. So y'all be looking at it, I just want to get him out the house because you don't want, man, bump that junk. But tell the nigga go in their room, cut the TV on if you want to, nigga. Rock bottom. Clothesline. Nigga, don't touch a toy. The only thing I better be hearing is breathing and reading. Period. You ain't doing nothing. I'm talking about all day. Man, you better get over that fact you want him out the house, man. You finna respect me in this home. That's what you finna do. Now we ain't going. Nigga, I get a refund. Listen, man, I'm so hardcore with it. Even if I couldn't get a refund for my money, we still ain't going. Man, I send somebody else turn before I send you, or I'll take the loss. That's how serious I am about, man, bump that junk. We not going. The tickets ain't refundable. Oh, well, we ain't going. This nigga tried me for the last goddamn time. He ain't going nowhere. Joanne's gonna lose out on a lot of things. I already see it. You know what I'm saying? I already see it. She don't like to listen. She thinks she's supposed to get what she want when she want it. I got to trick her up. Yeah, I got to trick her up. I ain't on none of that. If you act like that, man, you can start chin checking these things. You got to whoop them. You got to take what they want. You got to take what they look forward to. Yeah, you made a promise to do something. Their behavior need to be congruent with that promise, so you snatch it. That's the only thing they gonna respect. They don't respect the whoopers, man. They get past that. Y'all know it. Y'all got whooped. You ain't care about the whoopers no more. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you rather have a whooping. Whooping fast is over with. You know what I'm saying? That instruction and loss of desire. Listen, man, the thing that hurt the children of Israel more than anything was losing the things that they held most valuable. You gotta take away what's valuable to them. You gotta identify, you like that dinosaur toy. Yeah, let me get that. Oh, you like that tablet? Let me get that. I told Joanne a tablet 2 years old, man. No, yeah, let me get that. Throw that tablet in his house one more time. You'll never see it again. She threw it. She never saw it again. My mama let her have it for a season. I said, you lucky your mama gave it back, because I meant that I was never giving it back. I was never giving it back. Ever. I mean ever. That's why I'm telling you, they don't want me to fool with them. You would rather your mama deal with that. Mainly because I don't need to be here. I'm just going to enforce, because if I'm going to enforce it, if I'm going to be the one to implement it, you don't want it. I already told Joanne, as soon as you turn 5, she's going to learn how to clean that bathtub. That's the age I was when my granddaddy taught me. As soon as that boy turned 5, I ain't buying a lawnmower yet, but when he turned 5, I'm about one. But he gonna cut the grass. Yeah, he gonna cut it. See, Muffin already gets sideways. I got a trick for her. Oh yeah, she be looking at straight up and down like military precision and discipline in every single solitary thing. Meaning that when I tell you to do X, Y, Z, and I get you up and do this here, you finna do it. I don't want to hear no excuses on it. She was looking ugly today because she be going back and forth with Don. I sat here and waited to see how long it was before you was going to ask for help. Because you get exasperated because you think they're your children, because you think you're smarter than everybody. Now look at you, sitting here looking goofy. Now you got an attitude because I said something to you. Why I elbow you in your throat? Don't play them type of things. I'm not gonna play with you. I have to, not because you're in middle school, you think it's a game. I told her, yeah, you ain't going to no regular school. It's competition at the school you at. You want to sit around here and play games and look on that tablet, and this a little girl, a little boy studying to take your spot. Yeah, because James Weldon Johnson, hey man, there's a waiting list for that. Get people hungry to get your spot. Yeah, you better stay on point. And don't skid in the grid for real now. Now you got to know how to compete. She ain't used to that. Because you know they had to do work before school even started. I be on it because you can't handle a 4-year-old from an emotional interaction standpoint. What you gonna do with your peers who got different life experiences than you when they start coming at you with peer pressure, this, that, and the third? What you gonna do then? Different life you got to enter into. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Because see, niggas think, oh, the good schools where all the degenerates at. So you think all the degenerates in the hood schools, all the degenerates is in the good schools. Especially white schools. Because that's when niggas be making a mistake at. You want to send your kid in the white school, them crackers be on drugs. And them crackers be hunting a lot. And they be drinking because their parents fund it and condone it and turn their head from it. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't realizing that when you sitting around now. I seen my homeboy Sunday, a real dude sitting down with a whole bunch of white folks, and niggas walked up to him and said, you cool, cuz? You good? You need some help? They sit around here laughing because dead serious. What? I wouldn't want my children hanging out with a whole bunch of white people, man. you the only black child. Absolutely not. We don't trust that. I can't let my son go out like no allows. You ain't finna take my son out there to somewhere, man, he come back dead, and y'all come like you don't know what happened, because cracker, you lying with it. I know you know what happened. And you ain't finna tell me you don't know what happened, because he left with you. Now, if it was some accident or something, you should have just called somebody instead of hiding, because that's what a lot of people do. Accidents happen and they panic, and it look like you did something. I don't think no accident happened in that. I think they did something to that boy. I don't know what they did, but like they did something. Yeah, nah, you can't go, nah. You gotta have 2, 3 brothers with you, watch your back. You can't be out there in the snow like that. No, son, you ain't going out there. You the only black kid? Yeah, oh hell no. Hell no. But I know that I tell you, man, the good schools is where the degenerates at. Don't trust it. You know what I'm talking about? What was that? 8 o'clock.
James 1.
Read it.
It says, for he behold himself and go of his way and straightway forget what manner of man he was.
See, remember, right? That word gonna show you who you is. I say, man, you just gotta come through the class. Hey, man, let's shoot. I just told them that a couple weeks ago. Man, y'all don't want me to do what I know I can do. I be trying, because you don't want to be hard on the church too bad like this here. But boy, they be trying all day, man. They be wild, man. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to be cool, but I'm about to get up here because you think it's a game. Now I got to whip you in shape. And that's how the Lord do. You think it's a game, now I got to whip you in shape. Now you think I'm mean. You ain't going to appreciate it till you come out on the other side. Read Hebrews 5. And what that is. It's 5, or is it 6? I can't. No, it's 12. 12 and 5. She's sitting there looking ugly for.
And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto the children.
He say he got a cousin that went to private school, turned out to be a goofy man.
Nor faint when thou art rebuked of him, from whom Yahuwah loveth he chasten, and scourge every son whom he received. If ye endure chastening, Elohim deal with you as sons. For what son is he whom the father chasten not? But if ye be so without chastisement, wherefore if all you partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons. Furthermore, we have had fathers of flesh which corrected us and gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subject unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chasten after their own pleasure, but for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastisement,
See, noise.
but grievous, nevertheless.
And that's why I mentioned that, because especially when they're young, man, that instruction in that checking, it don't feel good at the time. But he's gonna tell you it yield the peaceable fruit of righteousness because there's a desired result. You know what I'm saying? But I say, man, my old lady aggravated. I'm sure why. Y'all already know. Y'all niggas be pissing me off. Because y'all disrespect. I'm trying to turn. Y'all niggas disrespect. And you think that you're funny and cute. And it's not. And most of y'all too old for it. Y'all be getting by. Because you got another classroom to be in. But some of y'all, that's especially those of y'all who double digits, I ain't accepting none of that from y'all. None of it. Because you know why? Because I know you can go in the private classroom and you conduct yourself totally different. And when I sit back and think that you got more respect for a cracker than me, it offends my sensitivity. I don't know how you got more respect for a white man. White man don't give a damn about you. You don't know that yet, though. You'll find out soon enough, though. When you come our age, you're going to find out them people don't care about us like that. Yeah, I know it's a hard pill to swallow. You knew that, Bird? How you do that? How they act, Bird? You got negative experiences with white folks, Bird? Well, what happened? Just give me one, man. What they did to you? I'm not being funny, Bird. What happened to you? Why they thought you did? Or you did have a track record acting up in that class. Hmm? I'm asking you because you said somebody said you did something, but somebody else did it. I'm just saying you had a track record of acting up in the classroom now, Bird. You did have a track record of doing it. Who wrote a cuss word on the front of the school? They say you did that? Yes. Did you do that, Bird? No. Who did it? What did you want to do? Was you run? No. Why did they blame you, Bird? You have been tagging at school? That really happened?
I never.
Hey, they looked on the security camera and said it was you.
Oh, you said she thought it was me.
And it wasn't. So why you thought it was you?
I didn't.
Probably because it ain't go nowhere. But I wouldn't doubt that happened just you just randomly blaming him, knowing for sure. I know he on the camera. Then he ain't on there. You know, that's exactly what I'm talking about. See, that don't get to you, but that's something he gonna have to walk around with, and you'll never know about it. You know what I'm talking about? Because the people do be doing stuff like that. They want to blame me. I know you did it. How you know I did it? Bet you on the camera. How you know I'm on the camera, nigga? I was in the bathroom taking a dump. Listen, man, you'd be surprised. That's why sometimes you gotta leave the boys in the way. You gotta ask them stuff like that because they do like to blame black boys and stuff just because. And unless he actually like got in trouble for it, you ain't never gonna hear about it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't even sound like his character.
Nah, they definitely not attacking.
Right.
Because I done told y'all this before we get off. Like most of these children are definitely not advanced as children was. Like they still childlike. Especially the ones that's finna go to middle school, like they still childlike. Well, when I hit middle school, them niggas grown. And not the good grown either. They definitely have a whole and a different mentality. I'm talking about these children, not all of them. Like most of these, they still very childlike. That's why we gotta make sure you game them up, because they gonna be real naive. They going around people who seeing things they ain't seen. You know what I'm talking about? Listen. It's your principal black and white. Oh, that's right. That when you was at Kip. What school was that? I didn't trust Kip. Kip looked like a prick. It looked like they want to lock a young nigga up. Trust them. But yeah, man, hallelujah for y'all who shot the work. Man, we got off here, man. Microphone dead. And all that, man. Appreciate y'all time. Bless y'all the house out of him in the name of y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hey, man, y'all still trying to play football tomorrow? I think it's supposed to rain all day, though. It's supposed to rain?
It's supposed to rain, but I want to play.
Y'all got to let me know what y'all want to do. Amen, Brother Mark. I love you too, man. Did Barry send the money for the other flags, Muffin? You ordered them? Huh? That's what he sent them for. Monte ordered a pair, but I don't know if it's enough for 14 people. Peace, Brother Omar. Shalom, Sister Regina.